Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different, something special. Welcome back to another broadcast here on the CranKy Ducklings. Welcome to the Infolet League number 2 playoffs. I'm, of course, your Live VIP with you. I'm joined by the lovely people in the chat, by these amazing players, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to a Polish team league. Again, the Infolet League has been running for the past month. We have not been able to cover the group stage, unfortunately, but we were able to go over it during the podcast. During the podcast, we go over the group stage week by week by week. For those that are curious, this is more of a fun kind of team league here in the off season of StarCraft. Basically, there was a drafting process, captains were assigned, and they were able to pick and choose their players, pick and choose their team through said draft process. We had a wide pool of Polish players, I believe 4 teams in total, but now we are here in the playoffs. We're here in the semifinals. We're going to be covering the semifinals, having a bit of a break, and then jumping into the grand finals thereafter. Now, there are some caveats to how the structure of this team league works. One, of course, you can expect some high-tier players like Geralt, like Christiana, like Papi, like Art, like Snogstar, and many, many others. But if a player did exceed a certain amount of MMR, then they did have to off-race. So there is that caveat. I believe it's 6k. I believe if a player is over 6k MMR, then they would have to off-race. So because of that, players like Geralt, players like Christiana did have to off-race. They did have to off-race, and that does throw everything like up in the air. Because if you got your best players off-racing, then, I mean, how's it gonna go? We'll see. We shall see. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm also looking forward to the theme here of tonight's maps as well. I think Kuro was kind of teasing everyone earlier as well. Can't wait for Light to read the oh, that's not gonna happen. oh, no. God no. But let us switch our scenes over and have a look at the matches that are ready for us here in those semifinals. Oh my god, from the top we have our 2 teams facing off, and it is going to be a best of 7. It's going to be a best of 7 here. I believe best of 7, and all, regardless of the score, I believe all matches are going to be played out. So we do have quite a lot of matches ready for us. To kick things off, we do have Skunix versus Theo. Calmo versus Seraphit. We have Art versus Geralt. That is a matchup you should be familiar with. We have a 2v2 in the middle of the matchup with Art and Papi versus Geralt and Nanian. We have Ino versus Flexi, Papi versus Cristiano, and Kret versus Snogstar. I don't know if you can see, I know it's a little bit small on screen, but Cristiano is off-racing as Zerg and Geralt is off-racing as Terran. I love the idea that both Geralt and Cristiano were seeded, or I should say were drafted onto the same team. They are, I would say, the best Protoss players in Poland, but they have to off-race. They cannot play Protoss, they have to flex their off-races instead. Also, I hope you're ready for a trip, for a bit of a train ride, if you will. And if you noticed, the maps are quite thematic. We have game 1 on Radisson Station, game 2 on Proxima Station, game 3 Habitation Station, game 4 Infestation. I love that one. It's good. Game 5 King Sejong Station, game 6 Vani Research Station, and game 7 Dasan Station. Oh boy. So yep, strap yourselves in. We're going for a train ride. Oh, there's no brakes on this train, Papi. Let's go. Oh my god. I didn't realize there were so many stations in StarCraft, but sure. Makes sense. We'll see where we land. We'll see where we get off. I like trains. My favorite one is Infestation. I love it. They were like going through all the 2v2 maps and like, there's no station. What do we do? Infestation, Papi. It's beautiful. Also, thank you so much for those that are wishing us our partner anniversary. I believe the partner anniversary, I think, was actually yesterday, but it's still within 24 hours. So thank you so much. It's been quite a number of years since then, so we do appreciate the support. Shout out to all those in the chat as well. I see Nikiju, I see Pecoeta, Shema, Papi Shema. I see Psycons as well. Kuro, Baby Links, ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Rero as well. Good to see you all. And again, I look forward to jumping into this. Also, similar to Chobo Team League, each of these rounds is MMR locked in a way. So, for example, round 1 is players under 3.5k MMR, round 2, 4.4k MMR, etc., etc. So, there is sort of restrictions to some of these matchups to have these even set of players, these even skill players facing off against each other, or more or less even skill players. Oh boy. So let's go. Let us go. Game 1 is going to be on Razza Station. Oh, it hasn't been too long since we've been on this map. It's a relatively recent map from, what, 2022 into 2023. A couple of seasons ago, this was in the map pool, and we will jump into that first game. Oh boy. Was it just a year since? Or maybe, I guess a year? Question mark? I don't know. No idea. Here we go. Infolet. Oh yes, Infolet, of course, they're a Polish sponsor, and they have been hosting these monthly events from time to time, but now we are jumping into the team leader they have hosted and organized, and here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner. In the bottom right, we have the Polish Terran player, the Green Terran, representing Clan MY Fixed and his team. His team. It is Fail Matter. Fail. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player, the Pink Zerg, representing CSO Esports. It is Ducklings. Obronchi? Is that Obronchi? Maybe? Team Obronchi against Team Borzovi? Is that an I? Yo, that's the most you're gonna get out of me. But we're here. We have arrived at our first stop. We arrived at our first station, Razza Station. Let's go. It's gonna be a long trip. You know, we're traveling across Poland, across the world. Let's go. And for those that are curious, for those that are maybe newer viewers of the channel and new viewers of StarCraft, Razza Station was in the map pool not too long ago, again a year ago, maybe just over a year ago, and it was a heavily viewed map of the map pool. Very large, a lot of bases, and very often, oh my god, you can take this pocket in base as well. You have a pocket natural or pocket third, so very often we would see very greedy builds on this map, and you would wall off on 3 bases, you'd wall off on 4 bases, you cut the map in half, enter the late game, and it could be quite difficult to break a defending player on this map. We have gold bases as well that you can take advantage of. Some players would otherwise expand towards their pocket, break through and mine through these minerals, and then take the gold as a fourth instead. You have options with how you want to expand, but again, it's been a while. It has been a while since we have embraced this map, and we are in the 3.5k MMR section of the best of 7. For now, we do have a Rax Expand standard opener here from Fail. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have Ducklings going for his own hatch gas pool. So everything is looking normal so far. Everything's looking standard. I'm not too fond of all-ins on this map either. I mean, there's a ramp coming into the natural. On top of that, if you defend, you can also take a secure third base as well. So trying to go for these 2-base all-ins can be quite difficult. Usually on other maps, when you go for a 2-base all-in or 2.5 base all-in, you have options to hit the third or hit the natural base and try to pull your opponent apart. That is not the case here on Razza Station. That is why it is that much easier to defend against aggressive play and to make it into a longer game state. So we'll see if that's the case. For now, Reaper dips in, just getting read what's going on, does confirm the excess gas actually from our Zerg player. Okay, and I believe the Reaper did confirm this. Now, typically you would not mind extra gas in this kind of game state unless you were going for it all. There we, oh, he knows. Let's go. I was gonna say unless you're going for something crazy. I was gonna say fast Roach Warren, fast Baneling Nest, or fast Lair. It is going to be the fast Lair, still mining gas, by the way, so this could be a couple different things. Ooh, as the Reaper goes down, this could be a Nidus-based all-in. There is an Overlord across the map, but there's no Overlord here on the right-hand side, but Nidus-based all-in would make sense. Could be something like 2-base Muta. We have seen that on Razza Station. If all 4 gases are taken, could just go for a Spire and could just go 2-base Muta. We could be seeing some Swarm Host play with a fast Infestation Pit. Again, there are options here. With the extra gas, with the wall being attempted, I'm leaning towards Spire. I'm leaning towards Mutas, but we'll see. Keep an eye on Ducklings. As for now, the gas is being prioritized. There's no tech structure. We could have already seen a Roach Warren by now if it was going to be something like Roaches. Yep, there we go. Extra gases. With this much gas, it has to be the Spire, right? There it is, 2-base Muta. So Skunix is going 2-base Muta. Meanwhile, across the map, while I've been focusing on our Zerg player, our Terran player did go 3CC 111 into BC. Interesting. Now, this is kind of odd from our Terran player. Not the fact that he's going BC, but the fact that he's going 3CC BC. Because of the fast third command center, it's very economic, but it also means that the BC is going to be delayed. Because the starport was delayed, I mean, everything is going to be a little bit later here because of the faster command center. So it's not the most aggressive variation of Battlecruiser opener. Because of that, the Zerg player has more time. Meanwhile, Scan is the main. Ooh, Scan reveals the Spire. And as these two builds face off against each other, I think I want to favor Skunix. I mean, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on. Oh, he's good. Does have in control. Love to hear it. But Skunix, if he realized what was going on, he could make corruptors, right? He could just go straight into corruptor production and just shut down those BCs. I mean, a decent amount of mutas can deal with one BC. True, that's also possible. And mutas should be on the horizon. Meanwhile, across the map, Fusion Core is done and the first battle cruiser's on the way. Second factory as well. It's going to be BC into mech. Makes sense. Mech was very prevalent and very common on Radisson Station, so it makes sense to fall back on that here. Despite it being so many years later, it makes sense. Does make sense. Meanwhile, Roach Warren is on the way, so I'm curious if these two players are familiar with each other. Skunix has not seen the production, he has not seen all the factories, but going into Roach play would make a lot of sense if he was aware of the potential for mech. And no mutas. Wait, what? Wait. Okay, so on the one hand, Fail, our Terran player did scan, right? Remember, he did scan, he did see the Spire, and Skunix knows that he got scouted, so because of that, he does not make any mutas. I'm assuming that that's what's happening right now. Hellions, they hit the natural, Queens are in position, Roaches are amassing. The Hellions do confirm that there is Roach production, they get eyes on the production, they see the researching here on the Roach Ward as well. And these BCs are going to have potential. Of course, Skunix can reactively make corruptors to deal with them, true. So the BCs, they shouldn't be able to end the game. As the first battlecruiser has arrived, second battlecruiser's in production. Yamato was not researched, bear that in mind. Oh no, oh no, oh there's an SCV trapped! No! You can see there, in between the mineral patches and the depot. Feels SCV, man, so there is a trapped worker, he'll be safe. Oh, he lets it free! He notices! No! Like, I think it was like blocking it further in. Oh my god, he's putting it to work. Let's go. Throwing down additional depots. First BC's on the way. Nice swarm here from Skunix. Did barely saturate his third. He's down in workers, down in saturation. The Terran player has the better economy, which is terrifying to have a Terran player, sorry, a meching player up in economy against a Zerg. And we'll see if Skunix can bounce back. For now, he's massing out more Roaches. Got his Nidus Swarm ready. Does have an Overlord here at the natural. And we'll see if he can go for it. If he can go for the kill, he's moving out across the map. BC has arrived. Ooh, and the Roaches, they do respond. Okay, they respond here to the Hellions. Hellions are cleaned up. Queens, they respond to the Battlecruiser. Only 3 drone kills so far, but Skunix, he's got to go. Meanwhile, across the map, what is it to defend? No tanks. There's he has 0 tank production. Thor's instead. Thor's, a couple of Hellions as 1 BC. This Roach Ravager army has some potential, but I mean, Thors are quite tanky. If Fail is able to pull the boys fast enough and repair the Thor and keep his BC at home, I think he's going to be okay. Meanwhile, the Roach Ravager has arrived, and we'll see if he can hold on. We'll see if he can survive. Yeah, BC teleports back home. Biles, they graze the army. They graze one of the Thors. But with the return of the BC, the Roach Ravager has to back up, has to retreat. That takes down the Hellions at least. Biles, they up! Ooh, don't quite connect. Second battlecruiser does come into play. And again, Skunix, the worker count is really concerning to me. Like, he can afford some corruptors. No, not even. He can't even afford any corruptors. Made some more Roach Ravager. Oh, the Queens have arrived instead. Let's go. There's only 2 Queens. There we go. Clutch Transfuse. Queens get live, mules are being thrown down, but with the Roach Ravager Queens, Skunix, he can pull this off. Can pull this off? The BC's taking a lot of hits. 1 BC goes down. So very nicely down here by Skunix again. He's all in. He's completely all in. Like, he does not have an economy behind this. Takes down both Thors. And what is there left? There's 2 Hellions. Now we get into tank production, but these tanks are late. Yeah, tank production was delayed. Oof. Again, the Thor production from the Terran was kind of blindly countering mutas that never arrived. They never came. And Skunix, he has done it. He has broken the natural. Gets into the mineral line. The Lyles. They take down the BC. No battle cruisers left. GG gets called, and Skunix will take game number 1. GG. Gets 19 SCVs, breaks the natural as well. Again, it was interesting. If you recall, just winding it back a little bit, if you recall, Fail, he was able to scout, he was able to confirm roach production. Remember, he checked the wall, he saw the roach horn researching. Despite that, he still blindly was countering mutas. He still had BC, he was making Thors, he was throwing down turrets as well. He was just hyper fixated on anti-muta as his army composition, which meant that he was kind of vulnerable to the Roach Ravager. As we mentioned, as we exclaimed, there were no tanks. There were no tanks initially to defend. There were tanks at the end, but by then it was too late. So this anti-ground army for the Terran was lacking. And in the end, Skunix was able to break through. But shout out to Skunix because he was able to reinforce with the Queens. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for the Nidus Queen reinforcements, then the BCs would have cleaned everything up. So really nicely done there by the Zerg player. Does take game 1, but that was merely only game 1. Oh boy. Okay, that was our first stop. We just dropped Fail off at Radisson Station. I like to believe we're dropping the losing player off at these stations. They've got places to be, places to go. Oh no. And up next, we're going to be heading over to a very different station, a much older station. We're going to be heading over to Proxima Station. Oh boy. When was Proxima Station in the map? Well, I want to say, was this like 2016? Hold on. Proxima Station. No, or was it before that? Let's find out. Let's find out as we're jumping into our next game. 2017. Okay. I was a year off. So not quite 2016. It was January of 2017. So it's been quite some time. Been what, over 7 years? Jesus. Crazy. But now we're getting to our second match, into our second map, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Proxima Station, we have there we go. We have our Polish Protoss player, the Purple Protoss, representing Clan TBD and Team Borzovi. It is Serafit. Team Void. Okay. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Polish Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Obronci. It is Galmo. He is Skunix's teammate. He does have a 1-0 lead here, thanks to Skunix, of course. His team has a 1-0 lead. And welcome one and all to Proximus. Oh, I have to get rid of the turtle. Oh no. Hello, Pat. Hello. Good to see you. Esther Turtle. Welcome one and all to Proxima Station. Now, Proxima Station does have a pocket base as well. There's something about these train stations, mate. They all got these pocket bases. Aye. But there is an in-base pocket here. Of course, there are some rocks, both leading into the natural and leading into the third base, or the pocket base and the natural base, depending on how you want to look at it. So you can try to harass here at a later game stage. But likewise, this corridor can be quite difficult to traverse, to get behind enemy lines, to get into these bases. We'll see if that's going to be the case here from the side of Serafit. Likewise, we do have additional rocks here on the left. Likewise, to also gain access to this left-hand side of the map. If the rocks are not cleaned up, then Galmo can turtle and can expand quite nicely. That goes for both players, both Turtle and Serafit. Serafit expanding here at his pocket, and Galmo and Magin doing the same. Yep, so Rax expand here out of our Terran. Likewise, Gate expand out of Serafit as well. Now, what's interesting is that the Terran player, Galmo, he does not go for an SCV scout. No SCV scout, and he also skips the Reaper as well. So he's cutting corners. He's being quite greedy. Going Marine first into the reactor, into, I would imagine, a factory. We'll see how greedy he wants to be from here. Meanwhile, it's been a while. We do have some gold bases available here. I do remember a lot of players actually taking this gold base as their fourth, even as their third at times. You can knock down these rocks and establish this position, set up some siege lines, set up some SimCity as well to try to defend and try to secure this place. I also do recall a lot of fights, a lot of encounters here towards the center of the map as well. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's a blast from the past. Hello, SCV. Proxy starport? Looks to be the case. So it is going to be racks into oh, actually, never mind. I would assume proxy starport, but there's no add-on swap ready for the factory. What I'm referring to is that usually you would add-on swap the factory onto the reactor to reactor out Hellions as quickly as possible, and then go for the proxy starport. There we go, starport's on the way. That means that Hellion production is going to be a little bit delayed here, which means this might not be a medevac. Interesting. So I was assuming it was going to be reactored Hellion into a Hellion drop, right? Hellions move out across the map, they meet up with the medevac, they get dropped into the mineral line, and they roast up some probes. As we scan the main base, and Galmo has confirmed the Twilight Council opener. Should be Blink, could be DTs. But with the lack of factory production, this could be Proxy Liberator, I would assume. Let's see. This is when he goes for like a tech lab into like Cloak Banshee. Oh god. Okay, never mind. He is going for a tech lab. He's not going to be Proxy Cloak Banshee. He's going to be Proxy BC. He's doing his best Gumiho impression. Ay. For those that remember, it was earlier this year, maybe last year. I'm trying to think back. What map was it on? Oh god. He did it in GSL. I want to say last year GSL, maybe November. But we did see Gumiho embrace this. I think it was last year. We did see Gumiho go Proxy BC and make it work at the highest level of play. Has done so in recent times, in recent years. Galmo, he's kind of working towards it as well. I want to say that Gumiho even went Proxy 2 port BC. I want to say he did it on Data C. I could be mistaken. Wait, what? Wait. Wait, what is this? What is happening? Oh, okay, no tech lab. He's going range. He's rushing range lib. Proxy range liber. Where's Yaku? Oh my god. We always, whenever there's a fusion core, like we're always like, oh, it could be range lib Kappa. Like it never is. It never is like a range lib rush, but he's crazy. I've never seen anyone do this. It's always been theoretical. It's always just been a meme. But okay. He's an animal. My god. So, yeah, so proxy lib and a ranged lib rush here from Calmo. We'll see how we can make use of it. I mean, there is some dead space here in between the bases. No shot. There is a chance that he can find a position here to deny mining at both the pocket and the main base and not be punished at all by Blink Stalkers. And there's no Starport. There's no Stargate. Like, does this just end the game? Does he just win? Oh, no. God. Look away, Pappy, look away. Back at home, the Observer does confirm that it's going to be bio production. We have extra Raxes on the way, bio. The Observer should take note, no Starport. The fact that there's a Starport missing and these Raxes are so late, that should be a tell. That should be a tell that there's a proxy starport somewhere on the map. Meanwhile, Liberators have arrived and Advanced Ballistics has been researched. And I don't think the Sorgers can do anything about this. We'll see. Are they within range? Yep. No, they can't. They can't shoot. Oh no. And just like that, zero mining here at the pockets, and mining in the main base is going to be disrupted as well, at least on these two mineral patches. A lot of probes are going to be going down, and I guess Stalkers cannot touch these Liberators. You need Stargates. Oh no. And I mean, at least the probe is actually barely oh god, Jesus. One of the probes is able to barely mine from one of these patches. That's going to be 7 probe kills. Oh my god, more probes going to be going down. And back at home, Ganamo, he just has to chill, just has to defend. As the third Liberator has arrived, this might even be able to siege up towards these patches here from the north without being hit. It's hard to say. Oh god. And fun fact, this is this is also, they can't reach. They can't reach. Smooch. This is something that we actually talked about last night. If you were here for the podcast, I was having a discussion with Yaku, and we were upset. We were frustrated with the fact that that the most recent patch notes, they initially were going to remove ranged libs and make them a little bit more and reduce that. Would take that away and make the Liberator reticles or the liberation zones larger instead, which would be a good thing because it does mean that something like this will not be possible. And then they reverted it. They reverted the change. And we're like, well, what's going on? Like, what's happening right now? Like, what are you guys doing? And yeah, because of that, well, I mean, this is the world we live in. It's Jesus. Stargate is on the way. Calmo's moving out. Cetaphit, he's on like 1.5 base economy because again, there's no mining here at the pockets. There's, I mean, there is like 3/4 mining here in the main at least. So just under 2 base economy here for Seraphits. The main army of Calmo is moving out. Calmo is pushing him. He's getting caught on siege though. The tanks. Yeah, he gets caught out. First tank goes down. Second tank goes down. The third tank's going to go down as well. So Calmo, he was late to set up. That was the best fight that Seraphit could have hoped for. The best fight. Army stims in. Up. Takes down a couple of zealots. There's that overcharge. Cetaphit, again, he's holding. He killed 3 tanks, and with that, Calmo, he might back off. He will check the goal, though, and he should deny it. The goal base will allow Seraphit to recover and to bounce back. Calmo pulling away. His own production has been a little bit lackluster. He's just now saturating his own third. And Cetaphit, he's in this. He gets another tank. Another tank goes down. Another tank does fall. Meanwhile, these libs are still getting some kills. Stargate is now done. Aha. And from here, Calmo, he can just chill. He's on. He has a 20 worker lead. Getting into 2 more starports, building up more marines, this time with marauders as well. 1-1 is on the way. Dark Shrine is in production. I mean, Cetaphit, again, he's still in this game. He can still go for some DT harass. The goal base is also helping him, you know, recover and just helping him tread water. He's still behind, though. Seraphit, he's still behind, and I don't think he can push in. Oh, this is not the play. Not like this. The tanks are sieged. Yeah, the tanks are pre-sieged. This time a better start here for the Terran. No. We need to send this to ESL. But yeah, if you were here for the discussion we had on the podcast yesterday, we were talking about how one of the big reasons why originally ranged libs was going to be removed from the game was because it was limiting map creation and map makers from making maps, because they would always have to consider things like this and to try to reduce this as much as possible, reduce ranged libs from disrupting mining in these bases and allowing the terrain to have stalkers and other ground-based units like queens deal with this as well. So that was like a big thing that, or a big push for removing something like ranged libs and having an alternative to ranged libs instead. And then they just got rid of it. They didn't even like tweak with the size of the liberation zones. They didn't even try to mess around with like maybe making it a little bit smaller than what they proposed initially, or maybe having like another answer to the problem. But yeah, they just reverted it instead. They were like, you know what, we can't be bothered doing the math. It's like, okay. Okay. Thanks for that. As Calmo does move out, he's maxed. He's almost maxed out at this point. DTs, they can get some damage done. If there's no scan, then... Oh, never mind. There is a scan. Liberators, they meet up with the main army as well. The freedom is here. There's too much freedom, papi. Too much freedom. Calmo, he stims in, takes out the stalkers. GG gets called. And Calmo will take game number 2. GG. GG. With proxy ranged lib. What an animal. GG, well played. Also, thank you so much to Quinton in the chat. Glasses, puppy glasses. God, thank you so much for the 200 bits. Thank you for the support. We appreciate it. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. And, with that, I mean, proxy on Proxima Station, makes sense. You know, it makes sense. It's in line with this train station, at least with this stop. We're going to be dropping Seraphit off, and now we have our next destination. Where do we go from here? Up next, you know what it is. It is the tried and true. It is Habitation Station. Let's go. Oh my god. I miss it. Habitation Station, for those who are unaware, I think this was in the map pool for like almost 2 years. Maybe even more than that. This was in the map pool for a very, very long time. The reason why this was in the map pool for so long is because I believe Habitation Station was in the last map pool of Heart of the Swarm, and then was ported into Legacy, and then it was in the first map pool of Legacy of the Void as well. So it was in like 2 seasons from like one expansion to the other. Habitation Station was there for a very, very long time, and is infamously the map. It's one of the, I think it's ranked as one of the best games played, or one of the best games in StarCraft 2 history, which I believe was in Red Bull Battlegrounds, which was Bomber versus Scarlet. Ah, god. Am I misremembering? I believe that should be this map, Habitation Station. I still, yeah, it is. I still think of this map very often. Like, this was such an iconic map in the history of StarCraft. So iconic. So many intense games were played on this map as well. And again, it was around for a long time. And we're back. This is also, for those that remember, this is also the map, not just with Scarlet versus Bomber. This is also the map that that did introduce and did popularize the Gangnam Terran build. For those that remember, we'll get into it. For now, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Habitation Station, we have the pink Protoss player, the Polish Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes, and also his team, as I believe he's the team captain, Obronchi. It is Art. Obronchi? And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. Actually, what if I do... In the top left-hand corner, we have the Polish, typically Protoss player, but he has to off-race here in this team league. For Streamer Zone, the Terran player instead, it is Geralt. Let's go. Now, what is Gangnam Terran? Well, this is one of actually many maps in the history of StarCraft, but I believe this is the first one where the goal base is close enough to the main where Terran players, they would just lift. They would lift their main base, they would float it over to the gold, and on top of that, the gold base isn't just close to the main, so you can just float over and just take the gold immediately at the start of the game. The rush distance by ground of this map is very short, so you take the gold and then you go into like a 3 or 4 racks all in, like a 4 racks mass marine all in, and just send it across the map. Okay. I heard something lifting, and so that was called the Gangnam Terran. The reason why it's called Gangnam Terran, one, it was started in Korea, and Gangnam is a region or a district in Korea where all the rich people are. That's why Psy's song is called Gangnam Style. It's like you know, rich person style. So that's where all the rich people are. So, you know, rushing into the gold straight away. That's what they called it, the Gangnam Terran back. Aye. Unfortunately, Geralt won't be doing that here, but that is where that build originated, and following this map pool, there were other map pools where the goal base was also similarly close by, and you could also lift and land and take it early on as a Terran. Eventually, that was phased out, and nowadays the goal base is much further away. It's been a very long time since we've seen like a proper Gangnam Terran. It's been many years, actually, but you know, it's one of those things that's kind of burned into my skull and burned into my memory. It's yeah, good times. Aye. As Art is just going for a gate expand. Standard opener here out of Arts. Meanwhile, Geralt going for his own Rax expand into a 3 Rax follow-up. Now, I do like this build on this map. 3 Raxes are very aggressive. It's a very aggressive build here by Geralt. And I did just mention short rush distance by ground. Again, by air and by ground as well. So, doesn't take long at all to get across the map. So you can be hyper aggressive. There is a Xel'Naga. I have to also get rid of the turtle, but there is a Xel'Naga here in the center of the map, so Art can get a bit of a heads up. Likewise, Xel'Naga also tells you if the goal base has been taken as well. Do appreciate it. There are also these southern bases. If you can survive on 2 and then 3, then you can cut the map in half vertically. That is true. You can try to get to that game state. God, but the nostalgia on Habitation Station. Oh my god. It's been so long. I miss it so much. Meanwhile, Art's going for a Robo Opener. Okay, you have my attention. Now, a Robo Opener is just a very safe build. Art, he has not scouted the main, but he has seen all these Marines. Now, it could just be a 2-1-1. It could be 3CC, 3 racks as well. I don't know how familiar Art is with the off-race of Geralt, but a Robo Opener is exactly what you want. What I mean by that, it's a very safe way to play PvT. It gives you access to a fast Bay, gives you access to fast Colossus, and all you need is one Colossus, a shield battery, and a ramp, and you can defend against a wave of Marines with Stim. Like this Stim bio army can't really break a player that rushes into Colossus. Without Colossus, it could be a difficult defense. We're gonna have to rely on force fields, sentries, force fields, specifically making use of this ramp. Meanwhile, Geralt, he's already embracing the map. He's already getting map control, skirting around the edge, building up more Marines. Meanwhile, the Observer does dive in, and it looks like with this scout, yep, RT confirms. He's now fully aware of the 3 racks. He knows what's going on. Bam, Bay. Straight away, Robotics Bay gets thrown down. As we mentioned, this is for the Colossus. Because it was a Robo Opener, you have access to the fast Bay, fast Colossus, and that will shut Bio down. Now, I believe that this should still hit before the first Colossus pops. I think the Bay is late. The Bay is a little bit later than otherwise because of this initial harass here with the War Prism. So it's still going to be a tough hold for RT. He's throwing down shield batteries as we speak. Stalkers, they drop into the main, and this will be buying time. Gets 2, soon to be 3 SCV kills. Up to 4. Almost up to 5. Yeah, and Geralt is forced to turn around. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Art. Again, Art, remember, he is gunning. He is just waiting and buying time for that Colossus. Meanwhile, Geralt, he does actually stim into the mineral line. Not bad. He goes straight for the probes. That's going to be 3 probes going down. He's getting 4. He's getting 5. Oh my god, getting up to 6. 6, 7 probes do fall, but at the same time, Stalkers are still wreaking havoc across the map, still going for more SCV kills. Archie's still getting a lot done. The first Colossus is halfway done. It's almost there. Geralt, he's pushing. And he's got it. He has to send it. He's checking the gold. There's nothing. There's no gold. More SCVs getting picked up. And Geralt, he does not pull the trigger. He pulls away, which means the Colossus has arrived, and Art holds. Art does hold. Art, he's got a sentry, he has force fields. He will protect his natural, but can he defend his third? That is the question. Geralt, he rotates around, and I believe he should be able to contain Art on 2 bases. Jesus, meanwhile, the prison micro. Calm down. Art, he's still being active, getting another SCV. Geralt, he moves out, he spots the worker, still hoping and waiting for a Nexus. Will delay, but won't force a cancel. Art is being forced out into the open. Geralt, does he dive? Up! Oh, not quite. Yeah, he forced back. Has to retreat. Gets a couple of Zealots. Meanwhile, the Prism is still... Oh, God, it's still wreaking havoc. Gets a Marauder. Not like this. Gets a Marauder, gets a couple more workers. Geralt is getting pulled apart. And I mean, the pressure is on Geralt right now. Oh my god, the Motorman shot doesn't quite go off. But his team has been struggling. You know, Geralt, he's down 0-2 in this best of 7. He needs to fight back for himself, for his team, for his boys. For the station. Oh my god. As the Prism is forced back. And Art is now taking his third, and Geralt is still on 2 bases. Third CC is almost done. Now, Geralt can take the gold and try to take advantage of that. It's true, but he's lost so many workers. I'm afraid to look here. How many have gone down? 13. 13 SCV kills, 12 Marines, 3 Marauders. So much value here. What has Art lost? 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker. Like, the Zealots are negligible. Sure, a couple of probes across the map earlier. Oh my god. But Art, he's so delicate with his micro. Pulls away in time. He's up to 3 Colossus. He's getting a 4th? Jesus. A little bit of overkill, getting a 4th Colossus, but why not? Oh, the laser's back. Geralt's now taking his 3rd. Art has eyes on the army. He's moving out, and he can take the fight. He can shut this down. Where are the Medivacs? Medivac production has begun, but there's no support for the army. And Art, he's still going to push in. Colossus, they go ham here on the bunker. Boys are being pulled to repair. Not in time. Oh, actually, just in time. repairs are pretty good. Oh god, force fields are brutal. Just cutting the map in half. And that bunker, it does eventually go down. Yeah, Geralt, he's just running out of resources. Being contained on 2 bases. Michael goes up. Ooh, nice dodge from Art. Does avoid. Boys are being pulled into 4 Colossus. The 4th Colossus has arrived. Nice shuttling. Not a single one goes down. GG gets called, and Art will take the game and will extend the lead for his team. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god, Geralt, he is left behind. He is dropped off at Habitation Station, and he will not be able to get back on this train as we're going to our next stop. What is up next? Where are we going? Where are we headed? We're headed to the infamous Infestation. The 2v2, Pappy, the 2v2, let's go. But again, when it came to Geralt's build, I was fond of it. I mentioned at the time going for a 3-axe does make a lot of sense. Unfortunately, he was scouted, he was found out, he was having such a hard time dealing with that war prism and with the harassment. He was just always stuck reacting to the prism instead of trying to keep up with it. His starport was delayed, no Viking, no medevacs, no drop play, like, it was just... Art was all over him. Art was all over him. I mean, Art is the captain of his team. And, alas, he is driving the train. He's leading it to victory, to their final destination, their final station, if you will. But before that, we have our 2v2. We have our 2v2. One moment here. Again, we're going to be loading into Infestation. It's going to be a 2v2 between Art and Pappy. Oh, 2 very strong Protoss players up against Geralt and Nania. Oh, boy. Here we go. Those Barabalings of 100% for sure. I have to update my BIOS. It was an honor. Take care, Pac. Take care. Take care. But here we go. We're getting into our best of 2. Oh boy. And spawning in the center right half of the map of Infestation, we have our Protoss Polish duo. We have our pink Protoss and our red Protoss. We have Art and Pappy. For Team Obrenti. And spawning in the center left half of the map of Infestation, we have a duo that has a lot of catching up to do here. They are down 0-3 in this series. There we go. 0-3 in the series. It is going to be the Polish Terran and Polish Protoss. It is going to be Geralt and Nania. Our team, Brazavi. Let's go. Oh, Geralt telling his teammate to probe scouts. This also tells us, I imagine saying the probes, translations would be ideal. As the probes are being sent out across the map. Oh, I remember this map. Oh, I played on this map. Let's go. Now, this is a very unique map. First things first, we're cut off. We are cut off from each other. Yep, Geralt, he just realized you cannot work or scout on this map. There are rocks. There are rocks here on the right, and there are rocks in the center. You have to knock down the rocks to actually gain access to your opponent via the ground. But these probes, they have a mission, and this looks like proxy Stargate. Like, how do you... Actually, never mind. Could be a couple different things. Now, there are rocks leading right into the main. As you can see here, these rocks do lead into the main base. This map was in the ladder map pool back in the day. And if these rocks get knocked down, then you gain access to the main, of course. This could be proxy Stargate to lay siege upon these bases with Void Rays, or proxy Robo Immortal, where Immortals can knock down these rocks and bust into the main. So, the 2 Protoss players, they have options. Pappy and Art, they do have options with what they want to proxy, how they want to approach this. Cyber cores are on the way for their eventual either Stargate or Robo. And meanwhile, Geralt and Nania, they are none the wiser. We see a 2-gate opener here out of our yellow Protoss. We do see a Rax expand out of Geralt. Economic opener by the Terran player. Meanwhile, what looks to be a bit of a more aggressive opener here by the Protoss, but we can't really be too aggressive. And what is it? Stargate. Makes sense. So it's going to be proxy Stargate. Should be mass Void Ray. I guess it could also be Oracles just to get into the mineral line a little bit faster and eviscerate the economy. There are options here for Pappy and Art. You're all animals. You're all animals. Polish is easy, is it? No. Not like this. Yeah, man. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. But here we go. Starports are finishing up, and what's it going to be? Is it going to be Oracle or Void Ray? Oracle! Okay, it's going to be Mass Oracle. Now, Oracles, they produce faster, they move faster as well, and they can very quickly get into the mineral lines and eviscerate the economy. Now, who do they go for? Do they gang up on the Protoss or the Terran? Who is the biggest threat? If Geralt was playing his main race, I would say Geralt is the biggest threat, but, you know, maybe Nanian is actually a stronger Protoss player than Geralt's Terran. What do they go for? Meanwhile, both players are still expanding back at home. Hallucination will confirm. Will confirm the expansions. Both players are building up. And here come the Oracles. Yeah, they're going for now. Oh, the Wind Mine. Oh, Mine Shell goes off. Big. Oh my god, massive connection. Easy. I mean, it was still 6 probe kills, but very nicely done. Oh my god, the IQ play. Geralt was in position, he read them like a book, didn't even scout across the map. I mean, now they know that, of course, the tech is missing. And now I'm concerned for Art and Papi. That was a big investment, big commitment so far. I mean, we have 2 more Oracles. Is there another Widowmine here? There is! There's another Widowmine here next to the Gas Geyser. There's a Widowmine next to the gas. Meanwhile, no Widowmine here at the natural. Did you head on the Mine Shot? Oh, once again? See, Geralt, because his main race is Protoss, he knows how to think like a Protoss Papi. He's like, mate, what are these apes gonna do? I know what they're gonna do. He sets up the Widowmines, he shuts down the Oracles, very nicely done. And with that, our duo here, our duo that have been behind in this series so far, they have potential, they have momentum, they have a better economy, they have their natural race getting saturated. Ooh, but another Oracle with the same Oracle does hit the natural. And Geralt's economy is still gonna be, oh my god! He's ready for everything. He's crazy. He's cracked. He's lost his mind. Mine shot across the map. Mine drop even. He's everywhere. The Widow Mines. He's like, mate, playing Terran. Oh my god, massive connection. 7 more probes go down. Geralt, he's lost his mind. He's popping off. He's like, mate, why do these Terran players just make Widow Mines all the time? It's broken. True. I mean, that's why Geralt does it. He knows. He knows the power of the Widowmine. Aye. Art and Papi, they know too. They can if they didn't before, they know now. You know, maybe we can send this replay to Spirits. Maybe we can teach Piotr how to play Terran. Kappa. Oh my god. As Geralt is taking a 3rd CC, getting up and running, building his SCVs, and getting his buyers set up as well. Meanwhile, Nanian has been chilling out, also focusing on a gateway-based composition. No Robo yet, the Robo's still on the way. Did research Blink, so it's going to be Blink Stalkers from Nanian and a Bio Tank from Geralt. Meanwhile, Art and Papi back at home, they're working towards their own Blink Stalker production. Bay is on the way from Art, so Art is working towards Colossus, but he's still not quite there yet, as another Widowmine drop does come into the natural. Papi does pull away. Oh! Ooh. Leading out a sentry. Brutal. You say very good, Chen dobre. No. Dzięki, Papi, dzięki. Dziękuję. As the Widowmines, they do rotate towards the backside here, towards that natural base of Art. They're going to be pinned back, and here comes the main army towards the 3rd base of Papi, towards the south. Rocks have been knocked down, and Geralt and Nanian, after they knock down this base, they can go straight to the main. They can go for the main base. Art's out of position. The army's not where it needs to be. Does scan ahead of time, sees there's nothing there. Base is denied, and they can push it. Send it, Papi, send it. Send it in. Papi's trying to get ready. Does have the high ground. Does have force fields. Force fields get thrown down. The tank is within range. Massive tank shots going off. Oh, thank you, Gary. Thank you. The anniversary. As Nanian and Geralt, they are pushing forward. They're broken the main. Yeah, they're sipping on in. They shut down more of these stalkers. The tank doing so much damage in the back line. Oh, the overcharge will help them hold the line, though. Art, he's holding. Overcharge has to be respected. Geralt's running out of units here, but the Immortal goes down. Oh, no shield battery here on the left-hand side. No overcharge. And Papi is struggling. Disruptor has arrived. Not Colossus. And you can see Geralt and Nanian, they're expanding behind this. taking more bases, keeping up the momentum. End up shading to Mineral Lines. Here comes over to Nova. Oh no! Ooh, not quite paying attention. Nova does connect. A good start here for Art. Art does have the supply lead individually. Has a lot of Stalkers. Immortal goes down. Robo's being camped. The tank is still a little bit too far behind. Dodo does get a shot off. The rest of the bio stims in. Second disruptor has arrived. Nova goes off. And it does feel like Nanya and Geralt are running out of steam a little bit here. We need more reinforcements. Por favor. It looks like Geralt, he's signaling Nanya to retreat. Okay, they're backing off. Pulling away for now. Arch has broken out. Ooh, catching out Nanya. Not bad. Once again, a little bit indecision here where Art backs up. Bappy kept pushing. I would imagine they're in voice together, by the way. Like, based on the fact that Art and Bappy aren't texting. Like, I think they're in Discord. Likewise, taking more expansions. Geralt and Nanya pulling back for now. And it looks like the Protoss team, they're holding. They're stabilizing. They are slowly stabilizing here. Papi is still one step behind, is what I will say. Like, he's taken the main brunt of these pushes. When it comes to losing his production, losing his army, he lost the Robo, lost a lot of workers earlier as well. Geralt is going to be rotating instead. Knocking down those rocks. Alright, he does break out for a moment. And these northern bases, they are exposed. There's going to be a recall. Just recalling a handful of units. Art's not quite in position. And Geralt, he commits. Likewise, Nanya not too far behind him. And Geralt, he can break this. He's stepping in. Catching out the Stalkers. And there's no recall for Art. And Papi's recall's on cooldown. He's going for a counterattack. Yeah, Art, he's going for a massive counterattack instead. Nanya is not at home to defend, but he can recall. Does Nanya recall? The zero overcharge cannons are going down, so will the base. He has to make a choice. He commits. And trading a base for a base. Pushing forward, engages with Bappy. Hey, Bappy. Oof. Archon goes down. And Geralt, he turns back around. Geralt does turn around. Nanya, he commits. Oh, okay, Geralt, he's committing as well. The Nova! There it goes off. Art turns around. But again, Art, he's still a ways away. His main army is still rotating. Geralt sims in, catches a disruptor. Pushing forward, so many disruptors here for Nanya. Oh no! Oof, never goes off, doesn't quite connect. And Nanya, he holds his own. Dives on the Colossus. And disruptors are going down. Geralt, he does have a decent concave here. Yeah, it looks like they break through. The Protoss do it, they just don't have enough, they were pulled apart. Again, Art just couldn't recall earlier, he had to give it to the base trade. He arrived here too late, Bappy just couldn't hold his own. And it looks like finally, Geralt and Nanya, they're going to be able to take a map for their team. It's been a rough series so far for them. It's been rough, but GG gets called. Bappy and Art, they tap out, and Geralt and Nanya, they do put a point on the board. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Finally, they do put a point on the board for themselves, for their team, for Borjavi. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. I don't. But GG, well played. They do fight back. Again, it was a really... I mean, I wasn't opposed to the start of the game for Art and Bappy to go for the proxy, 2-gate, double Stargate even, to go for the Oracles, but Geralt, he was all over it with the Widowmine positioning. He shut down like, what was it? 4 oracles back to back to back. He just completely shut them down. He was able to counterattack across the map. He crippled the economy of Papi. Geralt, he was just all over it, really showcasing his prowess of Terran. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive stuff there. Kind of Geralt leading the charge against the Protoss duo of Art and Papi. What's impressive as well is that Art and Papi, of course, their main races are Protoss. They are very strong Protoss as well. They are quite comparable to Geralt when it comes to their skill. Despite that, weren't quite able to survive, and yeah, with that, GG. GG, well played. Oh, and the question becomes, where are we going next? Where are we going next here as Art, he is left behind. He is dropped off at Infestation. And up next, ooh, we have a very old school map, also very renowned as well. Up next, we are hopping over to King Sejong Station. Oh my god, let's go. A very infamous map. I still recall watching, oh god, what was it? Was it MMA? Was it MMA versus, oof, I don't quite recall, but I remember a bunch of BlizzCons. I remember a bunch of BlizzCons here on this map. On at King Sejong Station. It's been quite some time. Let's jump in. What would have this have been? Like 2017? No. I'm thinking 2017. Let's see. This was in the map pool, once again, 1 year off, or I guess a couple of months. This was 2016. I was thinking BlizzCon 2016. I was thinking it. God damn it. But it was 2016. It was around May to November. May to November. And I think BlizzCon was in November, right? It was like October, November was BlizzCon. But here we go, we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of King Sejong Station, we have the pink Terran player from the land of Poland, representing his team, representing Team Borzowi. As they do begin their comeback, it is Flexi. And spawning in at the top left hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the other Polish Terran player, the orange Terran, representing Bing Bong Exports, and also his team of Donchi. It is Inner. Not quite innovation. You know, he's like a third of innovation, or maybe half. He's getting there. Is getting there. As we are settling in. But again, this is also a very renowned map as well. As I did mention, was back in the map pool of 2016. Many years ago. I do recall, I mean, this was in the map pool during BlizzCon of that year as well, infamously. And some of the features, of course, are the fact that you can knock down these rocks, you can gain access to this left-hand side of the map. This left-hand base is also vulnerable to this cliff face. This is a feature that we don't see anymore, but basically just like this terrain specifically designed to set up for drop play or tank positions as well, to lay siege upon the base on the low ground. This is, yeah, something that you don't really see too often anymore. I remember going over some TLMC maps and being excited to see this once again. This was like last year, but they never quite made it through. That is on both sides. On both sides, we have these kind of little alleyways that can harass and that can deny mining. Likewise, you have the center base as well, which can be quite defendable. I still have to get rid of the turtle. God damn it. I'll get around to it. We have the center base, which has, of course, ramps leading down to the center of the map, which can be quite defendable, quite fortifiable. And you also knock down these rocks as well, as these are rock towers, which you knock down to wall off the ramp. Oh boy. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this was in the map pool when tank evacs were still a thing. I remember tank evac play on King Sejong. For those that remember tank evacs, maybe if you're a bit of a newer viewer of StarCraft, basically in early Legacy of the Void, you used to be able to lift and land siege tanks. Like nowadays, you have to unsiege the tank to lift it. Before, you wouldn't have to. You could just instantly pick it up and instantly drop it as well. So it had a lot of micro potential, as you can imagine. Insane micro potential. It also made it very difficult to kill tanks with Ling Bane because you could just lift them and land them. It was crazy. And there was a lot of like tank evac, like harass, tank evac micro as well, as you can imagine. It was insane, and I do recall that being a big feature of King Sejong Station as well. Could be mistaken, but I believe that was in the same era. Aye. It's all burned into my skull. I mean, I remember like staying up. I pulled an all-nighter. As you can imagine, BlizzCon is at an awful time in Australia. But whenever BlizzCon would come around, I would just like buy a bunch of like Red Bulls, you know, get a bunch of caffeine, and just not sleep at all the weekend of BlizzCon, or just ruin my sleep schedule just so I could watch, just so I could, you know, tune in and embrace BlizzCon. Right, it was, yeah, of course. As Reaper, as they do dive into the main, gonna be harassing. Again, we do have our initial tank production. It was double gas opener here out of Inno, but both players are just embracing their 2-base setup. Eventually, as you can imagine, tank evacs were removed from Legacy, from StarCraft. Oh my god, the medevac! Medevac took a lot of hits. Flexy's able to keep up. Does push forward. Gets the medevac. Will get away. Whew, just barely in time. I believe it's on the pillar. No, it's not on the pillar! Barely not on the high ground. The medevac goes down, and Inno does take the better trade. It does take the better fight. Whew. With that, he pulls back. Meanwhile, across the map, Reapers, they get into the mineral line. Again, there is a Reaper cliff going straight into the main from the left-hand side. So the Reapers do slip in. They get a full scout. They get eyes on the 3rd TC and the Raven production. So Flexy is more or less aware of the build. He's more or less aware that Inno is building up towards an economy, towards a longer game state. Flexy has yet to throw down his own 3rd TC. He knows that he's behind in the building of the 3rd, and Flexy now does start. Now does begin his own 3rd base. Command Center is now underway, and we might be here for a little bit longer. We're going to be looking to embrace a longer game state. But what I was going to quickly say about tank evacs was that it's made TVT really chaotic. Like, Terran versus Terran was very chaotic because as you can imagine, as it currently is in TVT, it's all about tank positions. It's all about tank positional play. But back in the day, because of you know, tank evacs, you would have all your tanks with medevacs all like lifted, and you'd just be looking to land on your opponents. And whoever landed their tanks first would win the fight. Like, it was just very chaotic. You know, just looking for that moment to like dive in to unload your tanks. And likewise, it was just very, yeah, it's not something that many people enjoyed, which is another reason as to why eventually they got rid of it. But it was very intense. It was very intense. Yeah. As Liberator does arrive, gets 5 SCVs. Let's get 5 workers across the map, not too bad. Flexy taking a pretty hefty economic advantage, up 10 workers. Meanwhile, you can see here that because Flexy knows that his 3rd base is later than his opponent's, he doesn't even morph in the orbital. He does float instantly over towards the 3rd to take advantage of it and to try to catch up. I mean, he's already exceeded, you know, when it comes to the worker count. Meanwhile, a shout out to Blarg. Baby, thank you so much for the subscription. For 3 months of support. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. As Inno does move out. Does have his Ravens ready. Disable's research. What's interesting to me is that Flexy never made any Ravens. And no Ravens were made. His tanks are looking quite exposed. There's no Vikings either. Inno, he's tempted. He scans. He sees the tanks. Does spot them. And does he commit? I mean, that is still 5 tanks. He rotates around instead. He's going for the 3rd. And he will force a lift. Flexy getting in position. Barely out of range. So it does pull away. Legit one of the worst changes ever. Cool idea, but removing the core weakness of main unit did kind of ruin the game. I mean, I would say as a viewer, it was exciting because there was more, obviously more maneuverability and more micro ability with the tank. And again, TVT became, instead of it being like these slow siege lines, it just became like, it would be over in an instant. It was, it was just very intense and very chaotic. And on the one hand, I would say that there was definitely some enjoyment there as a viewer, but definitely like as a player and for the health of the game, it was not a good thing. It was not a good thing. So again, thankfully they got rid of it eventually. As Flexi does go for a double jump across the map. Into the main, doesn't quite get much done though. Heads over towards the third, where Inno is out of position. Slow position, SCVs are gonna fall. His entire army gets dragged back home, actually. Oof. The army gets dragged back. Boys are being pulled away. 12 SCVs go down. 13 worker kills. And just like that, Flexi takes a massive economic lead. Now, he has yet to re-land his third. There's still that one tank in position, but it's only one tank. And Flexi, he can't clean it up. It's crazy. It was crazy times. Crazy. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, that was also back with like the previous Adept, which could like bounce, if you recall, where Glaives, instead of like increasing its attack rate and attack speed, it would bounce and do splash damage. It's wild. Oh god. Because of that, they were actually viable against Terran as well. As Flexi breaks out, gets a tank. Oh. We do see, you know, preemptively disabling some of those tanks. Gets two, but only two. And there's still just too many tanks. Massive tank volleys going off, and Flexi takes the fight, shuts down the army. Ooh, punishes Inno. And now he lost his advantage. Like, the big advantage that Inno had were those two Ravens. The Ravens, they had so much potential to slowly over time take better fights, to disable those tanks. Alas, the Ravens were thrown away. And Inno, he's forced back. He still has the worst economy. Now a smaller army. And Flexi, he goes in for another double drop into the main. And they're having a hard time keeping up. Oh, they're losing two SCVs. The lock-ons! Oh my god. The lock-ons are broken. Double drop towards the third. But Inno, he does keep up. Doesn't really lose much of anything. Two SCVs. Only two. So very nice cleanup. Flex is still being active, moving out of his main army. Another double drop towards the left. But you know, he is looking to stabilize. Some players are taking more expansions, and Flexi, he does refuse to move out with his main army. What I also find really interesting is that neither one is going for any kind of big air control. No one is going to Viking production. As I say that, two Vikings now on the way for Inno. Vikings are on the way. Medevac goes down. Double drop back into the main. Finally. This is the third time that two Medevacs have gone into the main base, and turrets are now going to be thrown down. I mean, they were just denied. But I'm sure Inno, it's on his mind. Oh, as SCVs are falling, this time much more damage. 10 SCV kills, Medevacs they get away, and Flexi does now commit with his main army, pushing right through the center. And he has options. Does he go for the third, or does he go for the natural? The main armies, they do slot each other. Inno is the first to siege. Fire sims in. Oh my god. They're taking a lot of hits from the tanks. Ooh, as there's no scan. A late scan there from Flexi. Inno's keeping up. Shuts down the drop in his main. Tank lines stare each other down. Ooh. Another tank falls. You can see Flexi, he does rotate. Does pull back. Getting a fourth. Getting a better economy. Dropping back into the main once again. But Flex is about to max. He's about to max out. Now, despite that, that doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to be able to break the main army. With good positional play, with good SimCity, Inno can still claim a fight, but it's going to be difficult. Not going to be easy. He has to rely on Flexi overextending. He does have to rely on that. Drop back into the main. More SCVs going down. Flexi's almost maxed, but again, pushing up this ramp, it's Flexi's gonna lose a lot of supply trying to do so. He'll lose a lot of army instead of going for a split push. I do like this. Splitting off towards the left to knock down those rocks. Splitting off towards the right. Tower's being knocked down. You know, he scans. He sees the army. Sees it rotating. Rocks are under fire. Inno, he misses the main force towards the right though. And Flexi does sneak up on the third. Tower goes down. CC as well. Marines, they do respond. But the tanks, they siege up behind this. Brutal fight for Inno. GG gets caught. He gets pulled apart. And Flexi will take another game for his team. And fight back for... Oh God, what? Rajavi. GG. GG. What a blast from the past. Once again, it's great to, you know, have a bit of a vacation and visit King Sejong Station here. Was a great, just a great kind of trip down memory lane to go through King Sejong Station again. Just so many historic games that were played on that map, and great to see it again. Congratulations to Flexi. Again, Flexi did seem like he just had a little bit more attention. He was able to pull apart the attention of his opponent. I should emphasize, you know, with his drop play, with his movements, with his pushes as well. You know, did have some good did have some good moments. But if you recall, we saw him lose a little momentum when he lost his Ravens, and you know, from there he was just falling behind in workers, behind in bases. And in the end, GG, well played. Flexi does take it, and now we're getting ready for our next game. We're getting ready for... I was gonna say a PvP, a PvZ actually, between Papi and Cristiano. Let's go. Oh, we're gonna be heading off here from King Sejong Station. Up next, we have Vani Research Station. Oh boy, once again, it has been quite some time. I believe Vani Research Station is a little bit newer than King Sejong. I want to say 2018. Do I want to say 2018? No. Yes? I'll say 2018. Let's see. Vani Research Station. I've always been a year off. God damn it. 2017. God damn it. Wait, this map was in the map pool for like 2 months? 3 months? This was in the latter map pool between... This was during the off-season. This was 2016 to 2017. It was November of 2016 to January of 2017. Oh, okay. This was in the dream pool, right? Yeah, this was in the dream pool. I remember. Oh my god. So for those who do not know, there was... I'm pretty sure it was this period. I'm pretty sure it was this period in time. From 2016 to 2017, there was the Dream Pool, where they brought back old maps. They brought back old maps into the map pool just for a couple of months, just for the off season, basically, to have some fun, just to like have a break from things. I've always wanted them to bring back the concept of a Dream Pool during the off season. Not gonna lie, but just because, you know, all these we've had so many maps over the history of StarCraft, right? Over the course of StarCraft, there've been so many maps. And after we're done with them, we never see them again, right? It feels like kind of a waste. You know, a lot of work and effort was put into these maps whenever they were initially made, and we never get to see them again. So the idea of a dream pool has always been like appealing to me. Not necessarily the most like kind of balance of things, right? Like because you know, the meta does shift over time, and some of the maps are a little bit outdated and might have some outdated concepts as well. True, but that's also why it's during the off season where, you know, there wouldn't be any big competitive tournaments going on. This would be the period in between BlizzCon and IM Katowice. Bring back Zelnaga Caverns. Oh, God. As here we go. We are setting things up, and we're getting ready for our PVZ. Let's go. What map do I miss? Was it Redshift? No. Was it Blood Boil? There was like a nice like snow white and red map, which I liked visually and aesthetically back in the day. But regardless, here we go. We're getting into our next best of one. Welcome, one and all, to Vani Research Station. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss. We saw him previously. In the 2v2, but now he's on his own. For Berserker Esports. Also for Team Obronchi, it is Bappy. Obronchi. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, or the northern half of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. The Polish Zerg representing clan SWS, nowadays though representing Offside Esports, and also representing Borzovi, it is Cristiano. His team have begun the comeback. Both Flexi, Geralt, and Nanyan, they've been able to put some points on the board. And can we tie things up? Can we force the ace match? We are close, but the pressure is on Cristiano. Meanwhile, Papi is going to be moving out. There's the initial GLHF. This is a concept that we don't really have anymore, like these vertical maps, right? You can see on the minimap that it's a little bit longer than it is wider, of course. Something we don't see too often. Do you have the center of Zelnaga? Do you have Cristiano going for the hatch gas pool, standard opener? And once again, we have pocket bases. Again, this is a concept that I guess was a little bit more prevalent back in the day. We rarely get them nowadays. I mean, I guess we have, you know, post-youth, but we have to talk about post-youth. Nah. But here we go. Actually, I'm like pulling back to the recesses of my mind. If I'm not mistaken, I believe when this map was in Heart of the Swarm, I'm pretty sure I've seen Swarmhost versus Swarmhost on this map. I'm pretty sure I've seen either Swarmhost versus Swarmhost, or I want to say maybe Swarm, like ZVP, like late game, like Snoot versus maybe like Stefano or something. This would have been what, back in 2015? No, sorry, 2014, 2015. I think this was in the era of the old Swarmhost. Like, looking at the center of the map, I remember seeing Locust Waves. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing Locust Waves flying through here. Ah, no. I think I remember seeing Muta play as well. God, I have to get rid of the turtle. Aye. Why am I playing on a map with a safe third base again? I mean, yeah, I mean, with a pocket base as your natural, with this base as well, it means that it's going to be that much more difficult here for the Zerg player to punish the expansions of the Protoss. I mean, that's the advantage of pocket bases, right? But here we go. We have Cristiano taking his own third. Still, he is avoiding that pocket base, saving it for later. And building up. Meanwhile, Bappy going for a Void Ray opener. Of course, Bappy, he's playing his main race. For those that are curious why Cristiano is off racing, Geralt had to off race as well. Basically, if when it comes to this team league, for the players that were a little bit too high in skill, they were not allowed to play their main race. So Geralt and Cristiano could not play Protoss. So coming into this, like, this is where I favor players like Bappy or players like Art. Adept shades in, gets one drone, not bad. Oh, we're not quite getting a second. Oh god, it's getting so close. 4 spores get morphed in. Cristiano, did he skip his links? He did. He's crazy. He skipped his links. He killed the adept with just the queen. Did shut it down. And he's just been droning. Cristiano, he's been doing nothing but droning. Even skipping link speed. Wait, what? Link speed has not begun for Cristiano, so I'm curious if he's going into fast roaches, if he's rushing into a fast lair and maybe going into Muta play. This is kind of odd though. Void Ray has arrived. So far, just queens for Cristiano. Like, I'm not too confident cutting corners like this against Pappy of all players. Like, Pappy's pretty good. May have lost a 2v2, but I mean, that was 2v2. Void Ray, ooh, does not get the Overlord. Cristiano does hold. Likewise, Oracle in from the left-hand side, getting to the mineral line. Gets one, gets two drones, gets three drones even. Ooh, 4, 5 drones, 6 drones. Oh, 6 workers going down. 7. Someone stop the 8 drones. Stop this man. He gets 8 workers, no Spore here at the third. Cristiano, he gets punished, and he is rushing into the lair. Okay, so clearly he has a plan. Clearly it was intentional that Cristiano, he did skip link speed, and I would imagine he wants to go into Mutaplay. I would imagine. Oh, never mind. Taking extra gases, Roach Warren. It's going to be Roach Warren, going to be an Evo Chamber as well. Looks like he is getting into Roach production instead, but it's going to take a while for him to really get things going. And back at home, Pappy is just happily probing. Happily probing up, saturating his bases. Getting to his own follow-up here with a Forge, Twilight Council, Robo, all of his upgrades. Oh! Oracle's a dive back in, Adepts from the left-hand side, sorry, from the right. 5 more drone kills, 1 Oracle finally goes down, but Cristiano is getting pulled apart. The Adepts, they just wreak havoc in the middle line, 9 drone kills, oh my god, he's popping off. He's not done, still no spores? No shot, where are the spores? 0 spores for Cristiano, he gets punished so hard for it, 12 drones go down. Cristiano in his mind, he's like, but queens are broken. Why are my queens not killing everything? Oh no. As the Oracles, they kill everything instead. 17 drones go down. Just make more queen, Kappa. Just make more queen. Copium. 17 drone kills. Looking at the insults tab, 26 drones going down. For what? For 1 Oracle, for 4 Adepts, 1 Void Ray. Finally, we get 2 Spores at the natural and at the third, but the damage has been done. And Pappy is building up. He's taking up into Charged Archon. Now, what I will say is that Pappy doesn't really have much of an army to work with, but he has been quite greedy. He's fully saturated on 3 bases. Cristiano, he re-drones. You may be thinking, oh, Cristiano, oh god, oh no. Hold that thought. As another 4 drones fall, still no Spore in the main. What I was going to say, you may be thinking, oh, but Cristiano, you know, he's been able to drone up once again up to 68. Like, he has a comparable worker count. True. But Cristiano, ideally, the Zerg player wants to be up in bases and up in economy, up in workers against a Protoss. On top of that, because of all the dead workers, all the lava has been spent on redroning. And that means that the ground army here of Cristiano, it's lackluster. There's barely an army. It's slowly building up, but Pappy, he is in control for the time being. He's building up, getting to more Immortals, more Archons. I would say that all Pappy has to do is just chill. Just chill out and build up. He is pushing, though, and that I'm a little bit concerned by. I don't think it's quite necessary for Pappy to move in. But with the arrival of the War Prism, looks like he wants to push. He wants to attack. Yeah, he's moving out. And we'll see if Cristiano can hold. He's morphing in a lot of Ravagers. This area is wide open, very wide open as well. Where's the Prism? Pappy, he does push in, but I don't think he can take this fight. Oracles are coming from behind. Oh, the piles up. Oh my god, they rain down on the army, and you can see here, Pappy, he's being caught with his pants down. He should not have been out here. Like, he had to just chill back at home, turtle up, max out. Alas, he gets caught with his pants down, and now Cristiano, send it! He's all in. He's completely all in. There's no +2 behind this. There is Roach speed, but there's no +2. There's no droning. It's all Roach Ravager. The overcharge, premature. Premature overcharge. Cristiano, he backs off. Storm on the way. Who needs drones, Pappy? Who needs them? As Cristiano, he does push forward. Really, who even needs queens? Who needs them? Just lose all the drones. It's fine. It is fine as he's taking down the Archons one after the other. More Roaches, they come in to reinforce. And again, Pappy just has no support for the army. Like, we need more Zealots, more Stalkers, we need more buffer for the Archon Immortal. And Cristiano, he does it. He breaks through. The boys are being pulled. And Cristiano, he will completely shut this down. The workers, the Archons, there's 2 Immortals left, they're barely standing. And even if Cristiano gets forced back here, he does kill the economy. He does cripple the worker count here. 19 pro kills, gets the Immortal. And Pappy has almost nothing left. Oh my god, he has almost nothing left. He's fueling Pappy's hatred for Zerg now. Oh, he's achieved his goal. Let's go. As Cristiano, he will break the base, gets the Archons, Immortals, they juggle back. And from here, Cristiano can push into the main. He can just go straight for the main base, get on top of the production, get on top of the robo. He doesn't have to waste his time at the fourth. And he shouldn't. As he does push in. We'll take down the pylons. This is a soul-crushing game for Pappy as well. Like, he did so much economic damage across the map. But again, I think he just got too excited. He got too excited. He moved out when he really shouldn't have. And that is where Cristiano pops off. And you know what that means? Mate, we're going to our final destination, our final stop. GG gets called. Cristiano, he fights back. And we are going to the ace match. Let's go. We're going all the way to the final game of the series here. What station are we going to? Dasan Station. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Dasan Station. I'm trying to remember. This was back in Heart of the Swarm, right? Was it? God, I don't trust my memory anymore. I keep being like a year off. Was it? No. I'm gonna say, you know, a lot of these have been from I'm gonna just say 2017. 2017. I'm gonna take a leap of faith. Oh god, but was it Heart of the Swarm? I can't remember. I can't remember. Let's find out. Dasan Station. God damn it. So I said 2017. 2016. God damn. 1 year off. 2016. It was actually this was the same map pool as King Sejon Station. All the stations, Pappy, all the stations. So this was also BlizzCon of 2016. BlizzCon 2016. Was Dasan Station. So close. But up next it's gonna be a Zerg versus Zerg matchup, ZVZ on Dasan Station. Let's go. It all ends here. It all ends in this final best of one. Oh boy. Again, shout out to Cristiano as well. Bearing in mind that I do rate Pappy's Protoss higher than Cristiano's Zerg, so a very big win. Winding back to that previous game, I do think that Pappy just got a little bit too excited. He got a little bit too cavalier. He was doing a lot of economic damage, and it looked like that he assumed that he would just go for the kill then and there. I do think he could have if he had gone for something like a 3-base, 8-gate all-in, but if you remember, he didn't go for a 3-base all-in. He went for a 4th. He was investing into a 4th base, into his economy, into more probes. He was pushing, but his move out was lackluster. He was lacking any real support for his Immortals and Archons. If you remember, he moved out with like 2 Archons and like 3 Immortals. Like there was like barely an army to work with. It was crazy. So hey, Pappy, calm down, Pappy, calm down. Ay. And here we go. We're getting into that final game, that final ZVZ. Oh boy. Really, this is the only way it could end. The final stop. No more stops here as we're getting into that final game, into the ace match, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Dasan Station. We have the do I remember this map? Is this the map where we played? Did we end up playing like a 4v4 on Dasan Station and then we kind of like broke it? Am I crazy? Is this the map where we played like an FFA? It was like a free for all like 8 players on this map, and I think I remember spawning here. Am I crazy? Did I like spawn right here next to my opponent? Next to like Crank? Did that happen? I need Kuru to confirm. Did we play like a free for all on this map by accident? But here we go. In the bottom right hand corner, we have Snogstar, the Polish Zerg player for Borzov. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player from the land of Poland representing his team. It is Bronti. I think it was a different map. Okay. It was a different map. Okay. because I do recall a setup similar to this where we had 2 players spawn in right next to each other in an FFA. Regardless, welcome on along to Dasan Station. Ooh, no, yeah, you're right. I do remember this map, actually. We have the gold on the right-hand side. Now, something very important. We have gold bases that you can take as a natural, which is crazy. It's wild. You can just rush into a gold, but the rush distance by ground, it takes seconds. It's like a 10-second rush. Look at this. Look at this, Pappy. We can just walk in. So, Snogstar, he goes for the gold, and Kurmis, he is here to deny it. The Lings have arrived. It was an early pull. Snogstar going for a hatch first. No, okay, never mind. It was pull first. It was pull first here. Queens are on the way. Boys are being pulled. The Lings have arrived. And we'll see if Snogstar can save the gold. Again, the rush distance by ground is crazy short on this map. So Lings are pushing in. Oh, apologies. Kurmis is going. It looks like gas first. Looks like gas first here is going for his Baliness behind this as well into Link speed. Actually, looks like a 13-12. My apologies. So 13-12 out of Kurmis. Meanwhile, Snogstar going pull first. A much more defensive build here by Snogstar. We'll see if he can survive. Again, considering the rush distance by ground, like I'm that much more concerned here for Snogstar. Might be concerned. Works to saturate the gold. Queen has arrived. Second Queen's on the way. Third Queen's on the way. Bailey's are morphing in. Goodness needs a little bit more time. They're battling over the turtle. Let's go. Up. Bailey's don't get triggered. Big connection. Bit of miscontrol there by Snogstar. He does miscontrol. Another connection here on 4 Lings. And Snogstar, what does he have left? He has 2 Lings remaining. And goodness, has he done it? Gets into mid-ride. Massive connections. Drones go down. The Queen as well. Yeah, the Queen should fall. Yeah, barely an economy. Up. Queen goes down. There are backup queens on the way, but Snogstar is down to 10 workers. He has a worse economy than that of the all-inning player. More Bailings on the way. Ooh, the Bailings are morphing in a little bit. Yeah, they're too exposed. They will be punished. Goodmiss does have the higher link count. He can take the fight. But he's being forced back. He needs Bailings. He does need some Bailings. He needs to morph them in. There we go. They're morphing in. Snogstar gaining momentum. Spine crawlers on the way. Queens are willing across the map to the supply block. The Queens, they catch an Overlord. Ooh, rough move command. The Slowlings are popping off, but here come the Mailings. Yeah, Godmiss, he cannot lock down the army. He can trap it. There's no way out. Oh, he ignores it. Wait, what? He ignores the Lings. He's going across the map instead. He's crazy. Bailings are racing back home. They are racing back. Boys are being pulled away. Goodmiss, he commits, but there's a Spine Crawler back at home. And this may have been a mistake here for the Red Zerg. GG gets called, and Snogstar, he holds. He holds back at home. Goodness, he made a rough call. He did make the wrong call there. The Lings pop off. He doesn't break the goal base, and Snogstar, he does take the game in the series for his team. For Team Bozdovi. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played, Snogstar. He will take it again. It was a bold move for the red Zerg. Very bold move for Goodmiss to like deny to actually ignore the Lings. He ignored the Lings. He tried to go for a counterattack instead. He had enough to lock the Lings down. He could have surrounded, could have locked them down, could have pulled that off, but he chose not to. He chose not to in the end. And sorry, that was correct even. My apologies. Correct. He chose to ignore the Lings. He went across the map, went for the all-in, but alas, Snogstar, he had 3 queens, he had a Spine Crawler as well. He was able to hold on, able to survive, and able to win it in the end. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Went the distance. Did go the distance here, but alas, we have our finalist. We have our second finalist here. Congratulations to Bozdovi. Meanwhile, my condolences to, again, Bronchi? My condolences, they did go the distance. I was honestly favoring them. I was favoring them in this series because they have Art and Papi. And because I do rate them quite highly, I do think they had to, you know, lead their team to victory here. But Papi did kind of fumble the ball against Cristiano. That was a big loss for Papi, especially because he's meant to be one of the heavy hitters on his team. Did go down to Cristiano, and that allowed Snogstar to clean things up at the end on Dasan Station. And with that, we have reached our final destination. You know, the road trip, the train trip has ended. We began, oh, let's just go over it all, actually. Let's switch our scenes over and have a look at all the matches. Our journey began on Radisson Station, where we had Skunix take the first game. We followed that up with Proxima Station, with Calmo continuing that lead, continuing the initial momentum that his team had, followed by Habitation Station, a very iconic map, very iconic to the history of StarCraft with art. And then we had the reverse sweep. The reverse sweep, it was a 3-0 lead, a 3-0 lead for Art's team. Art is the team captain, and they only needed one more. Only needed one more win, but last Bojavi, they popped off, they brought it back in the 2v2 on Infestation, the most infamous of all stations. They brought it back, went into King Sejong, into Vani Research, and into Dasan Station at the end. Very impressive. GG. GG, well played. The comeback was real. The reverse sweep. And now we're getting ready for the grand finals. We are getting ready for the grand finals. Now, we will be going on a short break. We'll be going on a short break to actually set up for those finals. So we will need a couple of minutes here to get that ready. Take this moment to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, get some rest, and get ready for what's to come for the grand finals. I'm hoping that there's also a theme to the maps. I mean, we could just go on another road trip, right, and just go through all the stations again. Or we could have something else. We'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Aristory. Aristory, he was organizing this event, and I'm sure Aristory alongside Kashim are some of the people behind the map pool and which maps they chose. I love the theme of all the train stations. It's really fun. What's next? What's the next theme? We'll find out. We'll find out after the break. They have a lot to live up to. You know, they may have peaked too soon with the train stations. I'm concerned. But yes, we're going to be going on a 5-minute break. We'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Infolet League number 2 playoffs, and welcome not just to the playoffs, to the grand finals as well. We just wrapped up the semis. Now we are here with the finale, with the best of 7 between Team Borzovi versus Team Armati. Let us go. We just saw Borzovi make it through their previous best of 7, went all the way to the ace match. It was an intense best of 7, an intense team league match. Can they do it again, or are they a little bit tuckered out, right? Have they spent their stamina in the semis, and now can they make it through another best of 7 here in those finals? We're here to find out. We're here to find out here as, of course, Armati, because of their performance in the group stage, in the round-robin group stage, they were able to seed straight into the finals. So they've been patiently waiting for their opponents, and now they're ready and raring to go. Oh boy. And we have our lineup. We have our lineup, exclamation. Oh, I don't think there is quite a bracket command for it, but let's switch our scenes over and have a look at the lineups here for this best of 7. We have our teams, we have our 2v2s, and we have our players. Up first, we have Ralph. Ralph up against Fail Mather in the first round. First map is going to be on Amphion, a current map of the map pool. So it looks like they had a very fun and very exciting theme for the semifinals when it came to all the train stations. Here, less so, unless there's something that I'm missing. You know, maybe there's another kind of theme that's going through all these maps, but for the time being, I'm finding a hard time finding that theme. Does seem to be a little bit less obvious. But we have Ralph versus Veil Mather in the first round, followed by a Kasperos, a Protoss player that we have casted many a time on the channel before, especially in our amateur events, going up against Uriel in a PvZ on Tropical Sacrifice, followed by Rodzin versus Cristiano in a PvZ on Orbital Shipyard. We saw Cristiano pop up against Bappy earlier with that laser style of losing a bunch of drones and just outproducing his opponent anyway. Very laser-esque, true. Did see someone make a reference to it earlier. Very, very reminiscent to a laser. Did pop off against Bappy. We'll see if we can do it again against Rodzin. Meanwhile, we have the 2v2 on Sludge City between Gossit, Rodzin, and Flexi and Cristiano. Meanwhile, we have, unfortunately, a walkover. I would have loved to have seen Terraform, but Geralt looks like he was unavailable between the time of the semis and the finals, which is also why I imagine Geralt is not playing in the 2v2 this time. So there is a walkover win for Gossit. So already on Mati, they start with a 1-0 advantage, and Geralt will not be featured in the finals. It's very unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen Terraform once again. It's been a long time. Won't be there. Followed by Mishu versus Nanyan in a TVP on Dynasty, another map in the current map pool, and we can potentially end it all with Creepy versus Snockstar on Inferno pools. Cool. So that is our lineup. That is our best of 7. Unfortunately, we're going to be missing one of those games, but hopefully we can once again go the distance. The last series went all the way to the ace match. Can we get there again? I hope so. Personally, I do hope so. But we're going to be kicking things off with the first best of 1 between Ralph and Fail Mather. As a reminder, the first round is a 3.5k MMR and below matchup. Oh boy. We are jumping in. Alright, going to be jumping in. Impressive performance from Cosset. True. Let's go. When you watch Traverse Oliveira show match, is that a show match happening on Soup? Are you referring to like a Soup show match? Yeah, I'm not too familiar what you're referencing, so I'm not too sure. But here we go. We're jumping into our position and spawning in the top right-hand corner. Sorry, top left-hand corner of Amphion. We have our green Polish player, the green Zerg player, representing his team, Team Armati. It is Ralph. It's a capital Ralph to you. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team MyFix, and also Team Borzovi. It is Fail Mather. Fail. Let's go. Let's go. As again, we are going to be playing after the first best of 1 on a map that we are very familiar with. It is in the current map pool. Welcome one and all to Amphion. Amphion, known for having its own unique features as well. Short resistance by air, very secure 2 and 3 base setup, especially if you mine through these mineral patches and expand on the left-hand side. So we'll see how our Zerg player is able to handle and deal with this map. This is a very often vetoed map in the map pool. We rarely do see it, especially in this matchup. But now we're forcing our players onto it, and my eyes are going to be on Ralph here to see how he does handle the situation. But now, Hatch got spooled. Standard opener out of Ralph. Meanwhile, Fail back at home, just going for a racked expand. Standard opener as well. So far, so good. Now, the last time we casted a Fail, he was the player that went into Proxy Liberator, if you recall. It was a wild game. it was crazy, Bob. It was crazy. Oh my god. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was Fail. I believe. Yeah. Did go for proxy range libs. He was able to pop off. But now we're settling into a very different matchup. Do we embrace mech again? Well, I say again. Do we embrace, a 1-1-1 into BC again, or do we do something very different instead? Yeah, it's still early on. But yeah, there are some show matches that are occurring tomorrow, but I'm unfamiliar with Oliveira versus Trap. With that specific show match. We're not involved though. Meanwhile, the first Reaper has arrived, gets across the map, does threaten the natural, but so far Ralphie is keeping up. Oh, drones are under fire. Not quite getting them though. The worker does survive. Ling's going to be zoning the Reaper back. One Ling goes down. And we'll see if Fail can get a second Ling. Not quite. As Reaper does back off, Queen arrives. Fail does retreat. Behind this, factory's finishing up, getting ready for the add-on swap. Third CC gets placed, so we have confirmation it's going to be 3 CC for Fail. It is going to be an economic build from our Terran player, not rushing to a fast starport into a fast fusion core. Actually, my apologies. If I recall correctly, the last time we saw him go BC, it was 3 CC, right? It was 3 CC BC, which is what was perplexing to us as to how delayed it was going to be. I might be mixing some matches together. Yeah, it's been a long day. It was a long best of 7, man. Aye. Meanwhile, there's the add-on swap. Tech Lab is on the way on the racks. There was a Terran player in the last series that did go BC into Bio off of a third TC. That may have been Fail instead. It's all melding together. The train trip. Oh no. Not like this. Okay, it's going to be 3CC 2-1-1 instead. No add-on swap, no starport. So we do have a 2-1-1 setup. Very aggressive. I say very aggressive. A very assertive build. Basically, this is going to be a stim timing with medevacs. We're going to have 16 Marines, 2 medevacs, and quite a presence on the map. But until then, Ralph has time to drone. Ralph, he is free to drone up to saturate. He's throwing down his Evo chamber, throwing down his Bailey nest, should soon be taking into his lair as well. As Ralphie is just setting up back at home and droning. But it looks like he's going to be going double upgrades before the lair. He's going to be rushing into faster 1-1. So just a more delayed lair build here from Ralph. Meanwhile, it's only 2 Hellions, right? Yeah, only 2 Hellions for Fail. So very limited aggression, very limited harassment here available for him early on. Still building up more Marines and working towards those medevacs. Third Rex on the way. Hellions, they go for the dive. Ooh, bold move. The Hellions going to be thrown away. They're going to get some scouting information. They confirm the lack of lair. Yeah, the lair just now beginning at the 5-minute mark. Ooh, and actually, Ralph... Okay, there we go. He does now start 1-1. The upgrades are late. They are delayed, but at least they're on the way. As from here, Ralph is going to be joining. He's going to be embracing Ling Bane. Meanwhile, Fail back at home, just getting ready for his eventual move out. Again, medevacs are almost done, and once they do finish, he can move out across the map and he can threaten the bases. And we'll see if Ralph can minimize losses. On top of that, Ralph's droning has been a little bit lackluster. Just now saturating his third. It still has a ways to go. Safety Bailings on the way. There's a lot of Bailings. Here comes that double drop. Now, these are going to be slow Bailings. They should not connect with the army, but they can definitely threaten Fail and maybe force a pickup. Fail moves out. Does hit the natural. Rotating into the main, going for the Queen. Yeah, the first Queen doesn't go down. It does. Cross transfused, but the Queen still falls. gonna be one queen kill. He wants the other, and he gets it. 2 queens go down. Gets a baneling. Gets 1. Gets 2. Yeah, you can see here the slow banelings. They just cannot crash in. They cannot connect. Not without links to support. 4 more drones. This is getting out of hand. This is already getting far too much damage. Spore goes down. The banelings. Ooh, one of them connects. Yeah, they graze the army, but all the banelings go down. A gas geyser as well. Oh, and this is just gotten far too much damage already. Again, Ralph, he didn't have any links to support the banelings. Didn't have enough queens either. Does he have any queens? Okay, yeah, he has 5 queens. They're now rotating. They're now responding. Marines are finally cleaned up, but look at the trades here. Look at the efficiency. That was 12 Marines for what? For 2 queens, 19 lings, 7 banelings, and 4 drones. And a gas geyser, and a spore. That was just so much value. And now Fail pushing through the center. Oh, tank getting caught out. The tank is caught. Nice pickoff, actually. Ralph does get a free tank. Trading with the Marines, just not enough Marines here to hold their own. As the reinforcements have arrived, they unload, they do hold their own in the end. And Fail can just keep pushing. From here, he can just keep pushing. Bailing speed just finished, but there are no bailings. There is 0 bailings to defend. Now, without any bailings, I mean, this Marine army can just stim in. He can stim, he can win. Okay, 7 bailings morphing in. They're morphing in here on the right-hand side, not towards the left. Bailing nest goes down. Those 7 bailings, that's all he has left. But he does have bailing speed. He gets 1. He gets 2, 3 queens. Oh, high energy queens as well. Gets 4 queens. Here come the bailings. They trickle in. Oof. They get targeted down. And not a single bailing connects. And there's nothing left. There's just nothing left. He gets 5 queens. All the bailings. Denies +2 carapace. And it looks like Vale here snowballed out of control. He denies +2 melee as well. And Lings on their own, they just can't really engage with this. Bailings are required, or just an overwhelming Ling count. And that just should not happen, not with these reinforcements, as another tank has arrived. They just had to unload. Yeah, a bit of a late unload, but it should be fine. Yeah, should be perfectly fine at this point. As the natural goes down. And Ralph, he was droning, was getting a 4th base, getting it fully saturated. Yeah, just thinking a little bit too far ahead here. And just was not ready for the initial 2-1-1. It was the first double drop that had already overwhelmed him, and the momentum just kept going from there. Denies the bailing for a second time, the bailing nest. No bailings. And now Fail, he's just going for the kill, going for the main. Boys being pulled away, and Ralph, he's huffing a bit of copium here. I can take him. I can hold. It's fine. Aristry was the caster. There you go. Este Aristry. He was casting in Polish. GG, and Fail will take game number 1. GG. Does take the first game, and again, just executing his build quite nicely. Nothing too special. It was 3 CC 2-on-1, and as a reminder, when it came to the 2-on-1, unfortunately, there just wasn't enough Lings to defend. It was purely Bailing Queen. The Queens got targeted first, then the Bailings. They didn't get good enough connections, and Ralph was overwhelmed. Ralph just having the bare minimum to hold, and wasn't quite able to in the end. Was a little bit too greedy, drone up too hard, and was punished for it. Was punished. GG, well played with that. Ooh, that does, I believe, tie up the series. Remember, Cossit got a walkover win over Geralt. Now Fail takes his win, so we are tied up 1-1. And now we can jump into game number 2. Is going to be a PvZ between Kasparos and Oriel, and it is going to be on Tropical Sacrifice. It has been a while since Tropical Sacrifice. I want to say this is a more modern map. I want to say, ooh, 2019. It's either 2018, 2019. It's gonna be one of the two. I feel like this is a little bit into Legacy. Let's find out. Hold on. Well, I have to settle on a year. It's hard. I'm gonna say 2018. I'll say 2018. Lock it in. God damn it! Wait, what? This was My apologies. This was, sorry, much sooner. This is 2022. My apologies. Actually, all these maps might be a little bit more modern. I've like scrubbed this map from my memory. Okay, yeah. No, this is like casting CranKy Ducklings. Oh my god. No, yeah. Okay, it's coming back to me now. I remember casting a lot of late game ZVP on this map specifically. Yeah. Especially towards the south. A lot of engagements there. Okay. Okay. We're back. I wonder, wait, let me just double check. Are all these more modern? For the most part. I don't recall when Inferno Pools was. Well, let's go. Let's jump in. Jump into our ZVP. Let's go. Let us go. Only 4 years off. Jesus, I can't believe it's been that long, Papi. But here we go. We're tied up 1-1, and we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of a Tropical Sacrifice, we have the Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Void, but also representing his team Armati. It is Kasparos. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player, the orange Zerg, representing Team Borzowi. It is Ori. But I've seen many a late game on this map, specifically referring to defending and protecting this, and a lot of engagements surrounding this southern location. When it comes to knocking down these rocks, pushing into this space, pushing into this space, trying to contest this expansion as well. I recall a lot of late game on a Tropical Sacrifice. Now the reason, oh my god, there was a bit of a pause, but the reason why there was a little late game on this map is because of how defendable this is. What I'm referring to is that we have ramps and choke points leading into this triangular third. Likewise, a very narrow choke point here in between the bases. Likewise, here also a high ground and ramps, and also a choke point that you can defend on your 3 and 4 base setup. Really, a lot of the big point of contention was taking the 5th base, and this is where a lot of fights would occur, down here towards the south, trying to outmaneuver the army, coming in from behind, coming in from the right, and engaging in these southern areas. We're back. Did I veto this map? Ooh. I think I did. Did I? I can't. God. I've wiped this map pool from my memory. Oh no. Let's go. I remember a lot of rotations here as well. Jesus. For now, we're settling in. Is going to be a hatch gas full unnatural natural here out of Oriole, going for a much later expansion in the center. Much later expand. Kasparos is just going to be settling in, so I'm just catching up. As we have our take-up choice, Kasparos going for a Stargate opener. Again, going for the initial Stargate into Oracle. I mean, standard play so far here out of Kasparos, likewise out of Oriole. For those that are curious, this is the second match of the best of 7, and this is 4.4k MMR and below. So Masters players. We have our Masters players facing up. Double adept across the map. Lings, they hit the natural. Trying to poke their way in. Getting a probe. One probe goes down. Adepts, they do commit across the map. They get a drone already. And they do catch a transferring worker. They're going to get up a second drone as well. So 2 drone kills, 2 Lings, already good value for 2 Adepts. Back at home, the pylon does finish. Kasparos does fully wall off. And the Adepts are still getting value. They get another 2 Lings, 4 Lings in total. They shade into the natural, into the mineral line. They get another drone. Ay, ay, ay. 3 drone kills. Finally, 1 Adept goes down. The other does Shade back in. Oh my god. Shades into the mineral line, forcing out more Lings. Getting another Ling as well. And another. And as the dust settles, it was how many? It was 7 Lings, 3 drones for 2 Adepts. That was a worthwhile trade for Kasparos. And now we can follow up with Oracles. Oracles have arrived. Spores are on the way. Nice timing with the spores for Oriole. Does morph them in. Does lose any extra workers. Revelation at the natural. And we're going into a Twilight Council before the 3rd. Now, if we were casting a pro player, I would assume, and I would double down and be like Glaive Adepts, right? Glaive Adepts should be on the way here. There's no other reason to go for a Twilight Council before an expansion, and no Forge either. But we'll see what Kasparos does embrace. Does he go for Glaives? Does he go for something different? It should be committed, should be aggressive, as he is supply block. 3rd base not being taken. And what is it going to be? The other option would be potentially Blink into a Gateway Explosion, into a 3-base all-in. The reason why I say all-in is because no Forge. Yep, there it is. Blink is on the way, Gateway's as well. And I imagine we're going to be skipping the Forge and skipping out on gases as well. But we'll see. Again, I would assume that this is for an all-in, but we'll keep an eye on Kasparos. As he's saturating that 3rd. So far back at home, Oriole still just droning up. Taking into a lair. If Oriole, it looks like he's skipping his Roach Warren. If he does commit to Ling Hydra, then he could be exposed, could be vulnerable to something like an 8-gate. As Oracles, they do get a Revelation off in the main. I believe they saw the timing of the lair. Yep, they did. They have a Revelation here as well. And show us attack. It should be the Hydra Den, but it could also be... Oh, my apologies. I missed the Roach Ward. It's here at the 3rd, actually. Okay. It's over here at the 3rd base instead. Meanwhile, Kasparos is not going for an all-in. He's throwing down at Temple Archives. That tells us that he's going to be taking up a little bit further. I mean, I'm getting mixed signals. I'll be honest. Like, the tech here is throwing me off just because, again, there's no Forge. There's going to be no upgrades whatsoever here for the Protoss. He is taking gases. So he's taking up. Meanwhile, Oriole, he has droned up to just under 3-base saturation. He's got 56 drones. He is not taking gases here at his own 3rd. And this is a big commitment here. That's a lot of roaches on the way. And Oriole, he might just not stop. Yeah, he's not. He's not stopping. We have more roaches in production. Oriole, he might just go for a 2.5 base all-in. Queen gets caught out. Yeah, Oriole, he's working more with purpose here. Yeah. No gases, no Evo Chamber, no upgrade, just purely Roach Ravager. Oracles, they should confirm this. They see the lack of drones and the lack of gases. Now we get a Forge on the way into Robo for Oriole. But again, this build from our Protoss players... Oh, sorry, from Kasparos. This build from the Protoss player was a little bit inefficient, is what I will say. It is inefficient. And I'm concerned about his ability to defend against the all-in. We'll see if he can pull it off. I mean, catching out a couple of roaches already. Nice pickoffs. Oriole does overextend. Reinforcements have arrived. And again, it's all or nothing for the Zerg. Either he ends the game or he dies trying. The Lings are lagging a little bit too far behind. A lot of Ravagers going down. The Stalkers are trading well. Initially, they do trade well. That is a lot of Stalkers. Oriole pushing up the ramp towards the natural. Allows a break down the front door. But the Ravagers are exposed. These are some brutal losses here for the Zerg. And Kasparos, he's holding. He is holding. He does focus on the Ravagers. He holds the high ground. Oriole's being forced back. Ooh, and now he's taking. And now the Zerg player is falling behind. Remember, no Evo Chambers, no upgrades, no gases, no 4th base, no drones, no economy. Kasparos, he's up in probes. And Oriole, he's trying to take up into Hydra. He's still not droning, actually. Oh my god, the Stalkers! And they left idle. Nice catch from the Zerg. Does pick off a good amount of Stalkers. Still making more roaches. Does move out. Again, expensive losses here for Kasparos. Warping additional Stalkers. Now we have some Archons on the way. or Storm. I mean, Storm has been researched. Fourth base has been thrown down. Second robot for double robot production. And it looks like Kasparos, I mean, he's not going to be moving out. It looks like he's just chilling back at home, trying to build up High Templar, Immortals, fortify his fourth. He is giving Oriole the opportunity to macro, but he's not. Oriole, he has still not really made any workers. He's taking gases, but still hasn't droned. God, Force Field is brutal. The Stalkers, they just dive in. The High Templar looking to be exposed. They do pull away. Yeah, Ravagers are going down. Kasparos, oh, he shuts down this army. Throws down the Storm. The Roaches, they want the High Templar though. They get one. They get one, they get two. They get three. Then they get four. Massive pickoffs. Yeah, they catch all four High Templar. Very nicely done. Oriole may have lost his army, but at least he resets the High Templar count. But he's still so far behind in the economy. He's still only got 54 drones. Now finally he's droning up. And even though Kasparos, he took some brutal losses there, he can afford those losses. He can warp in High Templar once again. Get another wave going. Speaking of, there they are. 3 more High Templar. Additional gateways on the way. Immortal production. And Kasparos, he's looking to snowball out of control with this. He has +1, which is more than I can say for Oriole. So he's on 0-0. Gonna try and go for a Hydra counterattack or even catch out the Oracles. Speaking of, he does find them. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. Very nice movement. Catching all 3 Oracles. Very nicely done. Behind this, Kasparos, building up his death bull of an army. Denying the creep. As he is being active. Clearing up more of these tumors. Still setting up his own concave. Trying to engage ahead of time. He has no lurker then, he has no lurkers ready. It's just pure Hydra and Storms. They're going to be so brutal. First Storm does graze the army. But there's more Storms behind this. There's at least 3 more Storms. Oh, at least 2 more. 2 more Storms left. Zealous, they hit the northern expansion. Mineral line goes down. I mean, there was barely any workers to begin with. Well, the Storm doesn't quite connect. Zones away. There's 1 Storm left. But the Hydras are so vulnerable. Again, Oriole barely has an army. Kasparos pushing forward. Another zoning Storm. Now he has to wait to just gather up more energy. Yeah, not the best use of those Storms. Hydras, they can push in. Oriole coming in from a surround. Oh my god. Comes in from behind. Takes down the High Templar. Picks off one of the Immortals. Kasparos overextending. And again, he did waste 2 of those Storms. So a very nice engage here from the Zerg, but at the same time, a massive Zealot warping into the main. Dragging back the army, getting a queen, getting into the mineral line. The Roaches do respond in time, though. Oriole will defend. Behind this, another expansion on the way. Oriole survives. Impressive. Not gonna lie, impressive. He survives, he holds, he has no creep, he has no presence on the map, he has no upgrades, but here comes the Lurker Den. Hive is done, Lurkers are now on the horizon. The Lurker Den is late, I will say that, but at least it's on the way. Meanwhile, Kasparos just pulling back, getting into Colossus production, more Archons, Dark Shrine on the way. So there's our Templar. And how many High Templar does he have? 7. Oh my god, 7 High Templar. Each with soon 1 Storm. Or 1 Storm each. Kasparos, he does move out. Now, unfortunately, does he have a Warp Prism? Oh, he does. It's harassing, of course. It's not with the main army. It's not able to reinforce. Massive Storm connects. The Hydras. Warp Prism into the main. Zealot on the right hand side. Kasparos setting up a tri-pronged attack. And Oriole, he's mainly got the Hydras right now to defend. And army pushes in. Let's say catch a queen. Nice defense here in the main, but here come the storms. And a single Colossus. Another storm zones. Roaches are coming in from the north. Oriole setting up a concave. There's still so many storms left over. Oh my god, another storm. And the Zealots are wreaking havoc. 23 drones going down. Oriole is getting pulled apart. He'd be able to dance with the main army, but the fringe bases are falling left and right. The hatchery goes down. He's down to 3 bases. Less than 3 base economy. 41 drones. That's all he has left. And even though Oriole, he has lurkers, and he just can't morph them in. He just can't morph in any lurkers. Doesn't really have the economy for it. And if he did try, I mean, Kasparos, he can just push forward. Speaking of, here come the lurkers. And here comes the main army. Here comes Kasparos. He doesn't see the lurkers, though. They may finish. Looks like they will be able to finish up. Storms don't quite connect. Lurkers, they have arrived. And can Oriole hold on? Can he hold? Oh god. Oh no, not like this. Storms in the mineral lines. Brutal storms. Not on the Hydras though, but another base goes down. Another expansion falls. Say that Oriole, he's holding on. Jesus, up to 4 Colossus. There's so many. The lasers. 5. He's got 5 Colossus. Zealots, they get a kill in the main. Main base goes down. No detection with the main army. But the third base goes down as well. Colossus pull away. And Oriole, he's down to 1 expansion. 1 hatchery left. Dark Templar trying to get the hell out of here. Gonna be locked down. They take down the lurker. And GG gets called. Kasparos, he takes the lead for his team. Takes down Oriole. GG. It's a wild game. GG, well played. Kasparos, he will take the game, will take a lead. And with that, Armati are 1 step closer here to victory. As a reminder, it's the best of 7, so still many more matches to come. Again, it was just a very chaotic game in general. We saw, again, it was just a really middle-of-the-road build from Kasparos. If you recall, he was behind in upgrades. He just had a really weird start, but at the same time his opponent was going for an all-in, and because of the opener of Kasparos, he had extra stalkers. He had extra stalkers to work with. He wasn't being active with them, but he was, set up with them back at home. He shut down the all-in. He was able to gain momentum from there. And Oriole, he was just never set up for a longer game. He was never able to drone up his 3rd, never able to drone up his 4th. He was never able to get into his upgrades either. After the failed all-in, he was 1 step behind, and he was really just relying on his opponent to make some mistakes and overextend with the army, which did happen a couple of times, but the Zealot run-bys and counterattacks and DT counterattacks as well did keep him in the game. With that, GG. GG, well played. We're getting ready for game number 3. It is going to be a PvZ between Rodzin and Christiana. Let's go. It's going to be on Orbital Shipyard. Here we go. Ooh, and this was actually used in the... it was used in the final season of Heart of the Swarm. Okay. It's been a while. Has been a while. Once again, we have a poker base, but spawning in the top right-hand corner of Orbital Shipyard, we have the... just setting up. We have the Protoss player, the Polish Protoss, representing the Platinum Esports, but also representing his team, Armati. It is Rodzin. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the... Dobra. I think he's saying good map. Is he saying this is a good map? No. Not too sure. As we have the red Zerg player. I mean, typically he's Protoss, but he is now off racing as Zerg, representing Offside Esports for Team Rojovi. It is Christiana. Rojovi? Here we go. Again, welcome one and all to Orbital Shipyard. Again, we do have a pocket base here going to be available. 3rd base as well. Jesus, the defensive setup on 3 bases is crazy. Just so many levels of elevation. So we have a free pocket expansion, but also this 3rd base has a ramp leading into it as well. You could argue that maybe it's vulnerable to like tank positions here on the right hand side, or to Blink Stalker aggression in some way, but I mean the main is looking that much more secure. Yeah, the 3-way setup is Very, very nice. Now, there is only one option for the fourth, which is here on the right. You have to knock down these rocks and expand on the right-hand side. There are some choke points here to allow for a more defendable fourth, and then you can expand towards the right-hand side of the map. We have these center gold bases as well. We have rocks in the center that we can knock down. No Zelnaga, bear that in mind. But trying to maintain these center bases are so difficult. It is so wide open here in the center of the map. Likewise, you also have the high ground next to the mineral line as well. So taking these center bases, it shouldn't really happen. I think I have seen the gold base taken like in a rush scenario, like a Zerg player like going for the center gold and then going for an all-in, but it's been a long time. Has been a very, very long time. Again, this map was in the ladder map pool back in 2015. Again, the final year of Heart of the Swarm. So Cristiano, who gives me maps like this again? For those that are curious, in the previous series, Cristiano, he was complaining that he was forced to play on maps that had secure 3 bases, which means the Protoss, I mean, with that feature, has the advantage. It's what Cristiano did say to Papi in their last match. Let's go ahead. Do you see where the fourth is? I mean, I still think the fourth base is, especially because of how defendable you are on 3 bases, the fourth base doesn't look too exposed, but we'll see, we'll see. I guess it is, there's a wide arc to make use of. But for now, we're settling in. As we have Cristiano going for his third. Again, Hatch got spooled into a third. Likewise, Rodzin going for his Stargate into his Oracle. So, standard opener here out of Rodzin. Rodzin, of course, playing his main race. I still don't know kind of the skill level of Cristiano's Zerg. Like, we saw him take down Papi earlier, but Papi did overextend. Papi did make some mistakes in that series, in that game. See where this takes us. Let's see, third is now being taken. We have an early Roach Warren. Very early Roach Warren by Cristiano at the 340 mark. Oh my god, sub 4 minute Roach Warren. This should be for an all-in. There's no reason to get one this early on. Oracle's moving out, especially against a Stargate based opener. And I mean, the entry point to the third is very wide open, so I think I am fond of the idea of going for an all-in earlier on. Cristiano, he does confirm the third. And we'll see if he can break it. We'll see if he can break the third base. As the Oracle gets into the mineral line. Getting 2, getting 3 drone kills already. Getting 4. Oh my god, 4, 5 drones. Oh, that's a lot of worker kills already. 5 workers going down. No Spore in position. There was a Spore in the main. Now Spore's on the way at the natural. Roach Warren is done. And Cristiano, he's droning. He's not making roaches. I assumed because this was a sub 4 minute Roach Warren that Cristiano was going for an all-in, but all these workers tell us that he is not, which means this Roach Warren was a little bit wasteful. It was wasteful here. Doesn't achieve much. Ahead, more drones are falling. That's going to be 4, 5 drones. Another 5, 10 in total. 10 workers go down. Lair is on the way. Oh my! And Cristiano, he's going for the third. For the fourth on the left-hand side. He's crazy. It is so far away. Okay, sure, why not? I mean, assuming that Cristiano has map control, he should be able to get away with this. That's a big assumption, though. As Cristiano, he's still droning, still saturating. Going for the laser style of defense by losing a bunch of workers and just replacing them all. Still attempting to overwhelm. I mean, this time he makes spores, though. Laser often skips them. True. Does often skip them. Oracles, they check the third. They rotate over towards the left-hand side. They don't quite check the fourth location. I mean, they checked on the right, but they didn't check towards the left. I mean, why would you? He will. He does get eyes on the expansion. And I see gateways on the way. How many gates? 4 gates in production. 4 gates already done. It's an all-in. Yeah, it's going to be a 3-base all-in here. Mass Blink Stalker. Proxy gate setting up. There we go. 9th gateway on the way. And Cristiano's in trouble. Cristiano, he's rushing into a Spire into Mutatech. Mutas, they will not help in this defense. He needs roaches. He needs lings, roaches, and ravagers as quickly as possible. He has lings, yes, that is true. But no roaches. No roaches to work with. Rodzen, he will at least get the base. I mean, this base is going to die, but I mean, that's fine. Cristiano, it's all about holding the third. We'll see if he can. Lings are coming from behind. They're going for the gateway. Probe goes down. Oracles are in position. Rodzen, he kills the fourth, but Rodzen needs more than this. He needs to keep going. Does need to keep pushing. There we go, warping in so many Stalkers at once. 8 Stalkers at a time. Soon to be 9 with that 9th gateway. Backup pylon. Cristiano is still getting ready for a counterattack. And Rodzen is pushing in. Cristiano is still making mutas. He's crazy. Mutas are on the way, and again, they're not going to help. At least they shouldn't. Stalkers, they blink back so far. I mean, a very nice engagement here by Rodzen. He dives on the Queens. Queens are going down. Lings, they come in from behind. Well, the Oracles, they can support. But they don't even need to. Stalkers, they blink further in. They hunt down the Queens. The Oracles, they could have been used earlier, to be honest. There we go. As they bust into the base. They shut down the Lings. The Mutas are going down one after the other. The boys are being pulled. GG gets called, and Rodzen snowballs out of control. Rodzen takes a further lead for his team. GG. GG, well played. That was a 3-base all-in out of Rodzen. This is kind of what I assumed that Kasparos was going to do earlier on Tropical Sacrifice. That's why we saw the early Twilight Council without the Forge. In the end, it led into him just playing very safely and very turtly initially, just teching up into Storm. But this was more decisive from Rodzen. He saw how greedy Cristiano was being, and then he punished it. He punished that greed. Again, Cristiano, he cut Roach production, he cut Hydra production, all for Ling Muta. And Mutas, they do not help defensively, not against an all-in like that. GG, well played. And with that, Team Armati need una más. They need one more win here to take the series and to be the Infolet League number 2 champions. Oh boy, they need one more. Meanwhile, the pressure is now going to be on the 2v2 team of Cristiano and Flexi. It's going to be Cristiano and Flexi up against Rodzen and Kozit. Let's go. Is it a waste of a Roach Warren or a trick Roach Warren? It's a waste. Ah, smooch. Not like this. The laser style of defense is losing a bunch of drones. Yep, I mean, I think even a laser would admit to that. 100%. And here we go. We are getting into our next game. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Sludge City, we have the duo. We have the duo between the Zerg and the Protoss. We have the Polish Protoss player in Flexi, the Polish Zerg player in Cristiano for Team Bujavi. That's the one button. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the Protoss duo of Kozit and Rodzen. Together, they represent Armati. I pressed the wrong. God damn it. It's fine. But welcome one and all to Sludge City. Now, Sludge City is very unique. Gold bases. You have gold bases as your naturals, so you have a boosted economy early on. Likewise, one player can take a very secure third base as well. The players do not share bases, but they kind of do. And oh, but we have a cannon rush. Flexi is going for the cannon rush. Forge has been placed. Likewise, we do see Cristiano going hatch first. Okay, hatch first, which means Cristiano will not be supporting the cannon rush. The pylons have been thrown down, and the cannon rush has begun. Flexi is targeting Rodzen. Kozit does pull a couple of boys to help. A couple of probes have arrived. There is a second worker here for Flexi. It's being chased down by Kozit. The cannon's on the way. Gateway is all. Can Flexi 1v2? Can he pull off this cannon rush? This pylon is about to go down. And pylon 4 is a backup pylon. So far, Flexi, he's secure. The cannon's going to finish. The cannon will finish. This pylon is safe and sound. Zealot has arrived. But is it going to be enough? Will it be enough? Here as here comes that cannon. Zealot's under fire. We do have a second Zealot coming in from Cosset, true. Oh, first Zealot goes down though. First Zealot does fall. Probes are falling. There's that worker to help support, to help buffer. And this Zealot's gonna fall as well. Here we go. Third Zealot's coming in. Behind this, Flexi will have to expand. Yep, he's going for the gold. Meanwhile, Cristiano, he's just chilling back at home, just droning up. And the cannon will fall. Now, what did the cannon get? So the cannon got 2 Zealots and 6 probes. Gee, 6 workers. That's a big blow to the economy. Zealot arrives. Yeah, the proxy Zealot does arrive. Gets into the middle line as well. Rodzen, he's struggling here. Nice probe micro, does pull away. Oh, that's still going to be another probe falling. Barely not another. Gateway Z powered. Rodzen holds. Rodzen does hold, but he's on one base. He never expanded, never took his natural. Cosset will have a boosted economy with the gold, but Rodzen is behind. Basically, Rodzen has been crippled. In this 2v2, Rodzen has been crippled. Flexi, you could argue, also still has a ways to go as well. Flexi does have a higher probe count, but he doesn't really have much tech to work with. So the game is going to slow down. It's going to be on Cosset and Cristiano to really gain momentum. And Cristiano is just droning. He's been droning the entire time. 0 lings for the Zerg. He's taking a 4th. He's so greedy. I mean, there are these center goal bases as well. True. And Cristiano, he's purely droning and making queens. The greed is insane. And there's the 4th hatchery on the way when Rodzen doesn't even have a natural. So Cristiano's getting his 4th. Meanwhile, Cosset is just now saturating his 2nd, his natural. Rodzen's still 1 base. And it looks like, I mean, the plan has worked with Flexi initially crippling 1 player and delaying both players. Meanwhile, Cristiano just being so greedy. Stargates all the way for Flexi. Twilight Council for Cosset. Now, with this Twilight Council opener, it means that Cosset could commit to something like an all-in. So far, it's only 3 gateways, but he could throw down like a 4th gateway, and we could see like Rodzen feed Cosset and throw down extra gateways or something like that. We'll see. As there's the 4th gate. There we go. Is Cristiano and Flexi, are they Christy? Are they I saw in the chat team names. Are they Christy or are they Flexiano? Ah, they're so Flexiano. What does that mean? Yeah, Rodzen and Cosset. Cousin! Yo, they're cousins! Let's go! I love that. They're all cousins now. They're family. Beautiful. As Rodzen's taking his natural finally, going for the gold. Cosset taking his 3rd. And you can see that Cosset, he's taking a 3rd base, he's expanding, he has not thrown down extra gateways, he will have fast blink, that is true, and Cosset can be active with that, but because of how greedy Cristiano has been, he's finally about to make use of that greed and put it to good use. Double upgrades, he's rushing into Hydras, rushing into Lurkers. This does look like a Lurker rush here out of Cristiano, and he has nothing, he has no army. I'm afraid to look at the units tab. Cristiano, he has 3 lings. He has 3 lings and 77 drones. Crazy. He has an insane economy. And if Cosset were to move out, he could get some damage done. But he's staying at home. Cosset, he's staying at home. Hallucination's moving out for a scout. And finally, he's going to realize how greedy Cristiano has been. And he's missing his window. Because the problem is that Cristiano, he has droned up. He's now droning up to 80. He's droned up to 80. And he's done droning. Now he's done droning. Now he's making an army. He's going mass Hydra. We do see Flexi is embracing an interesting composition. He's going Phoenix, Void Ray, Immortal. Bit of everything. Very high-tech army here. Meanwhile, Cosset now embracing more of a gateway composition, staying back at home. Rodzen is still licking his wounds. He's still recovering. Like, Rodzen is still not been able to like fully saturate. He's still limping along. And here comes double Lurker tent. I mean, he can afford it. 2 Lurker Dents for double upgrades at a time. Nidus as well. And Cristiano, he will soon max. He will soon max out. And look at the supplies right now. 58 for Rodzen, 83 for Kossit. He's taking into a bay. We see that Flex is embracing Sky Toss. So he will soon have a comparable army here to Cristiano. I mean, he's building up himself. There's the Mass Hydra. He's gonna have to pull out the strategies to get a win over Geralt. True. True, papi, true. Oh no. He needs to call up his cousins and pull the plug on Cristiano's internet. Get the walkover. Let's go. Stalker army's moving out. Now, there's a lot of Stalkers, but I mean, that's what the Lurkers are going to be for. And Nidus Storm into the goal-based mineral line. We'll see, can Flexi survive on his own? Can he hold? He's got 3 immortals. Oh, they're going to be targeted down. Flexi's being overwhelmed. Meanwhile, the Nidus Storm does finish. Kossit, he doesn't respond in time, and here come the Hydras. Hydras do pop out. Flexi is in a bit of trouble, but he's still actually trading quite nicely here with Mass Immortal. He trades against the Stalkers. Hydras, they're going for the kill. Cristiano, he's like, you got it, right? Flexi, like, yeah, I got it. I mean, he does. He defends. Flexi, he 1v2s. Yeah, Flexi, he 1v2s. He holds on to the expansion. He doesn't lose the base. Doesn't lose any workers. And Cristiano, he's handling everything else. Again, all Cristiano needed was for Flexi to hold, and he did. And now he can clean up. GG gets called. Rods, and he taps out. He has nothing left. And Kossit, he's racing back home. GG, Cristiano and Flexi. Christy or Flexianer, they do take the 2v2. GG. GG, well played. The comeback has begun. They put up another point on the board. Now, Team Armati still have a lead. They still have a lead. They still need only one more game to win it all. Meanwhile, for Zovi, they still have to fight back to force the ace match. Who's up next? Mishu versus Nanya. It's going to be on Dynasty, which is, of course, a current map, a more modern map in the current map pool in a TVP. Let's go. We're getting into our Terran versus Protoss. Dynasty, one of the more unorthodox maps in the map pool, very often vetoed. And we'll see how these two compare. Mishu does often play mech. We have casted Mishu in the past. Does often mech it up, but against Protoss, I'm less certain that he's gonna play that style. We'll see. We shall see a spawning in the top right-hand corner of Dynasty. We have our Polish Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Armati. It is Mishu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the yellow Protoss player, also from Poland, representing his team, Borzovi. It is Nanya. 2v2 love, 2v2 StarCraft. That was only one match. So this is for those that are maybe tuning in a little bit later, this is a best of 7 team league. It is a team league match, best of 7, and one of those matches was a 2v2. We just wrapped it up. Just wrapped up the 2v2 match, and now we're back to the 1v1s. Here we go. We are going to be spawning into Dynasty. Of course, there is that pocket gold base that is available to you. Now, in this matchup, it is unsafe to expand and take that gold. The reasoning for that, of course, is that it can be abused. It can be punished by range-based units like Stalkers, Adepts, Reapers, Marines, and Cyclones, Hellions. All things range can abuse it. So we should just be going for natural expansions. But I'll be honest, we rarely get to cast TVPs on Dynasty. At the pro level, it is just often vetoed. It's always vetoed. So it is a very rare sight. Best of 7. My apologies. best of 17 would be crazy. Great, that's insane. We have best of 7. This is the grand finals of the Infolet League. The Infolet League is a Polish-only team league that was taking place over the past month. Just a very fun, kind of, not too serious of a team league, but a little bit more fun. That's why we have 2v2s. That's why we were able to embrace some of these other unorthodox maps, older maps from the history of StarCraft. But we are here in the finals. As we do see Mishu going for a double gas opener. Double gas leading to a faster factory, a delayed CC from the Terran. Oh my, and he's going for the gold. Okay. And he's headed for that gold base. Bold move by Mishu. Now the gold is on the way, on location. Nanian going for the standard natural. And now that means the pressure is going to be on the Protoss to punish the gold of the Terran. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can punish. It's going to be a Robo Opener. We've spoken about the Robo Opener in the past, but this is a very safe way to play TVP. It allows you to get into an early Immortal, into an early Colossus with the fast Robotics Bay, which is a very defensive setup. You can be assertive with this if you go for a faster War Prism. True, you can go for a War Prism and go for a Depth Harass across the map. We'll see what the first unit is going to be from the Robo. What does Nanian go for? As Mishu is getting into his 1-1-1. Cyclone is on the way. Getting into his tech labs, getting to tank production. Potentially tank Banshee or tank Raven. We have confirmation it is going to be Banshee play. So very aggressive setup here by Mishu. Tank Banshee has been quite trendy over the past couple of months in TVP amongst the pro players. And this can hit like a truck. Depending on how it's used. You can use this to you can use the Banshees to support your tank push and move out across the map, or you can harass instead. You can harass Mineral Lines and try and distract the Protoss army, pull apart their attention, and then move in with your tank all in. Immortal production has begun. Reapers are being hunted down. Now again, Nanian has no map control because there's no Stargate or Twilight Council. Without Blink or without Phoenixes, Nanian is stuck at home. He's stuck at home, turtling up, building up these robo-based units. And we'll see what Mishu goes for. As the first Banshee's moving out, and Mishu is going to be harassing. Will harass across the map. Making his way towards the main. Likewise, Reaper poking in at the natural. Now, as an observer there are two observers, one across the map, does confirm the Banshee production. Second observer is back at home, and you can see Nanian is in position to defend his natural. Not quite in position to, oh no, never mind, in position to defend his main as well. So a very good read here from the Protoss with that observer scout. Scanning the main does shut down the initial observer. First observer goes down. Banshee has yet to pull the trigger. And there's the fast bay into fast Colossus. So Nanian's working towards Colossus production. Gold base is now being taken. Mishu does have the boosted economy because of his much faster gold. So far, completely uncontested. No depth harass, no harass whatsoever. Mishu looking good. And you can see he's setting up both Banshees. One towards the natural, one towards the third. And Nanian is ready though. Mishu backs off. Does back up. The Banshee towards that third base is revealed. Going for the shield battery. Nanian does respond, and the shield battery does go down. And potentially a probe. Oh, not quite. So far, these Banshees haven't really paid for themselves. They haven't gotten anything. They've gotten a shield battery, sure, but that's it. At least they're still alive, so they can still pick off some more units. You can see them join forces. They can now one-shot workers. And they're going in. They're going for the gold. Observer is in position. They got one probe so far. They get two. Two probes go down. Oh, not much more than that. Nanian defending well. More Colossus are building up. Twilight Council on the way. That should be for charge or blink or both. And here comes the move out. Here comes the push. The observer does see everything. Nanian is aware. He's moving out. Ideally, he wants to slow down this push before it gets across the map. Can he, though? Oh, the Observer, no! The Observer gets caught. He's going to be chased down. Mishui does siege up on the high ground. Nanian, he doesn't chase. Not yet. He has to rotate over. Has the high ground. More reinforcements on the way. Mishu does have the army supply lead. And Stim is just now finishing. He's pushing in. And I'm not sure Nanian has enough here. Again, that's 3 tanks. Nice force fields. Gets the Raven. Raven gets thrown away. Banshee's pushing forward. Where's the detection? Where's the Observer? Do we have one? The Observer sits towards left hand side. No Observer with the main army. And Mishui's pushing in. He collapses on the army. Gets the Immortal. Going for the Colossus. And the Colossus are exposed. They're going to be going down. Massive pickoffs. He gets one. And can he get the other? And it looks like he can. Looks like he will. Colossus does fall. Oof. Massive pickoff. And now Nanian, he doesn't have much left. Doesn't have much left over. He was caught out. Tanks now within range of the shield battery, of the mineral line. Go base is forfeit. Nanian is working towards charge. It's going to finish up in a couple of seconds. Warping in an army. And is going to try to come in from behind. Going to try to collapse on these tanks. But Nanian, he lost so much already here. Losing 2 Colossus and an Immortal. It's brutal. And it's difficult to recover from that. Mishui kills the gold. He still has his own, of course. Ooh, nice counterattack, though. Nanian, he denies mining at the gold. Mishui turns everything back around, actually. Turn everything around. Chasing down the Stalkers. Nanian rebuilding his 3rd. And now it's charge. But Mishui is still looking solid. Still has a hefty army with 3 tanks and mass Immortal. Sorry, mass Marauder, the other one. That's a lot of Marauders. Without something like Storm, it's going to be difficult here for Nanian to engage. I mean, Zealots, they can trade well, especially if they get a surround. The Observer is on top of the army. Nanian, he's waiting to pounce. But even if he does catch his army on siege, I don't know if he can take the fight. He's going for it, though. Oh, no. He cannot collapse on the army. Decent force field, slow him down. Nanian, he picks off a couple of units, but Mishu is almost max. He's almost at 200 supply. And Storm isn't ready. Another High Templar. No. One High Templar falls. And Colossus falls as well. Vikings, they land on the army. And Mishui snowballs out of control. He breaks on through. Stimming on in. GG gets called. And Mishu, he will take the game. And I believe he should be securing the series as well. For Armati. GG. GG, well played, Mishu. He will take down Nanian. Again, it was a good effort there by Nanian to try to defend that goal base, to try to engage out on the map, but he was punished for it. He was shut down, wasn't quite able to. Alas, he was caught out and he lost those 2 Colossus. You recall, it was that fight outside of the goal base where he lost everything. That was the moment that Mishu did secure himself, that he did gain momentum, and he never really let go from there. Did overwhelm. GG. GG, well played. What I will say, though, even though Armati do take the win, I believe, we will still play out that final game. You know, it's one of those things where even though they take the win, we will still play every single series here in this best of 7. So we still have 1 match left between CranKy and Snogstar. Here we go. So we still have that one final match remaining in this best of 7. A little bit less on the line here, as Armati will already take the win, but you know, there's still a little pride on the table between these 2 players, and we get to embrace a very visually fun map, Inferno Pools. Oh boy, let's go. Here we go. This was in the map pool back in the final season of Heart of the Swarm. It's been 2015. It's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time, but here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Inferno Pools, we have the Polish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Aftermath Esports, alongside his team, alongside Bujavi. It is Snogstar. Setting up, there we go, and spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Red Terran player for Team Armati. It is CranKy. Now, if I remember correctly, Inferno Pools was one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool. There is an island, true. I mean, when was the last time we had island bases? It's been many, many years since we lost island bases, but we do have one here in the center of the map. Likewise, I believe this was this a 4-player spawn map? To double check. Yeah, it was a 4-player map. Again, it's been so long since the last 4-player map in the map pool. We see them more often in SE Evo, but we don't see them anymore in StarCraft 2. I think the last 3-player spawn map was Catalina, I think, or Cactus Valley. So it's been a while. Been a while since the last 3-player map. I think the last 4-player map was it. I don't think Obsidian was a full-player map. What, like Darkness Sanctuary or something like that? This was like back in like what, 2017 or something. It's been a while. So basically, neither player knows where the spawn is. You can see CranKy SCV scouting towards the left. You can see the Overlord scout towards the left as well, and the Overlord towards the north. Snogstar will confirm. He does get eyes on the base location. CranKy does not see the Overlord, so Snogstar knows. CranKy does not. So the Terran player, he's still looking for the location of Snogstar. Snogstar did go for an early gas, so it was gas pool into hatchery. This means fast link speed, and the links are moving out. Here we go. Links are moving out. Oh, but thank you for the partner anniversary. Thank you. Do appreciate it. You can see Snogstar skirting around the edge, trying to avoid any kind of scouts. Do you see the CC on the high ground for CranKy just in case? And he does confirm. Reaper does confirm location of Snogstar, does get eyes on the gas. Should be aware. Does see how late the expansion is. Now he's setting up. He's setting up back at home. Thankfully, Snogstar did not expand on the low ground. Otherwise, he would be delayed. Could even be cancelled. As Snogstar, he does commit in. Pokes up the ramp, there is a Marine in position, and CranKy holds. CranKy does hold. Now, with link speed finishing up, this Reaper is going to be under threat. So, the Terran player has to be very careful with his Reaper. Ooh, as Snogstar is going for the gold. I mean, true. There is a potential gold base to take as a third here on the left-hand side. Jesus, what isn't there? There's Onagas, island bases, gold bases, 4-player map. It's got everything. It's also got an exposed third. I mean, Jesus, look how wide these ramps are. Ay. Especially this base here, you can lay siege from the high ground as well. Taking a third feels very difficult, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, the third base is even quite far away from the natural, so trying to defend an all-in that decides to hit the natural instead of the third, or vice versa, looks so difficult. I mean, there's a reason why this map was heavily vetoed. Heavily. As the Reaper does get caught. Here we go. Until then, we are settling in. Do have a Roach Warren follow-up here by Snogstar, so he's not going into Ling Bane, he's going into Roach play instead. I mean, that doesn't make sense. Snogstar, he is more of a Roach player. And we could see a bit of a longer one here. I mean, I'll be honest, we haven't seen much macro, we haven't seen much like 3-base versus 3-base or 4-base play in this team league. It's been much more aggressive, much more assertive. Hellions are moving out. harass. And even though roaches can hold their own against Hellions, this gold base is very exposed. And Creepy can't take advantage of that. He's looking for the expansion, looking for the third. The Hellions are spotted by the Overlord. Sogstar does pull the trigger. The wall is open. The wall is open. Does get on top of the command center. Oh, the cancel! Does force a cancel. Massive pickup. Third base is delayed. Behind this was, I mean, it was going to be a 1-1-1 into a third TC. But Creepy's going to be slowed down. Snogstar so far getting away with his gold. I believe the Terran has yet to scout, has yet to confirm, doesn't know the gold base is mining. Otherwise, he should be in the face of Snogstar. Creepy should be in his face, but he isn't. Doesn't know. Now moving out once again. Creep is spreading. Snogstar is getting ready for his own roach aggression. Bios on the way for the Terran, just now getting into Stim. And how many Banshees were made? Just the one. One Banshee, no cloak. Staying back at home. Roaches move out. Hellions do spot the move out. Creepy turns back around, racing back home. I mean, the Banshee will help, but it's just the one Banshee. Tank is still on the way. Snogstar, what's interesting is that he's droning behind this. He is droning up. So he doesn't really intend to kill Creepy with this. Gets an SCV. Trades against the Marines, trades against the Hellions. Creepy, I mean, he doesn't have to engage with the Hellions either. Ooh, getting more SCVs though. The tank a little bit too far behind. Getting 4 SCVs. Collapsing on the Hellions as well, from behind. You can actually knock down that front door. Uh-oh. Hellions are cleaned up. Gets every single one. From here, Snogstar backs the hell off. Races back. And throughout all this, he's been saturating his bases, getting up to 58 workers. Can now throw down a fourth. There it is. Fourth is on the way. And now taking into Roach Hydra. And again, Snogstar got enough damage. He was able to pick off some workers. He reset the Hellion counts. Scan reveals the gold. Finally, the Terran player is aware. But he's still stuck on 2 bases. I mean, the Banshee does have 6 roach kills. True. It's okay. Now 7 roach kills. For a moment, I thought this was an SCV, and Creepy was going for a ninja base. I mean, clearly Snogstar, he's afraid of that, so he's looking for ninja bases. He's like, mate, are you really only on 2 bases? Technically, Creepy, he could take the island base. True. He could float over. It would be safe. Meanwhile, Snogstar just taking more expansions. Setting up more bases and securing himself. Snogstar, I mean, as he's getting up to a maxed out army. Creepy, playing from behind, has been stumbling his way into the mid game, just now taking his 3rd, as Snogstar is getting a 5th. Hive is on the way. And from here, Snogstar can just go into Lurker Tech, he can go into Ultras. Based on the range upgrades, I would assume Lurkers. I would assume like Hydra Lurker Viper is the composition of choice for the Zerg. Snogstar, he does have an inefficient army with all these roaches, but he's ready to go for a run by to throw them away. Doesn't need them when he maxes out. And he's getting there. At the same time, there's a changeling with the main army, so Snogstar, he's aware of any kind of move out. He's getting ready. There we go, roaches, they're going for the counterattack. Hydras, they engage with the main army. Roaches, they get in, and the wall is open. Marines are going down, tank as well. Hydras, they're gonna have a rough trade against the Bio, especially into this tank. So not the best trade with the Hydras, with the Roaches, they pop off. As the Hydras, they melt. The Hydras, they cannot hold their own, so that was an efficient fight for Creepy. but the roaches are making up for it. The roaches, they bust into the natural, they take down the armory, they're denying +2 attack, 9+2 armor. Yeah, they snipe both expansions, so both bases. The bases, both E-bays, what I meant to say. And Snogstar, he can afford those losses. Can afford it. For the most part. I mean, losing the Hydras was brutal, true. It was less than ideal. CranKy could try to counterattack, and I feel like he has to go for an all-in. Especially because he lost the E-base. He lost the upgrades. I mean, he's just going to fall further behind. It's one of two things. Either we commit to an all-in, or we turtle. We turtle and take the island base, take a fourth, and try to max out and just defend. But this map is so wide open, like, how do you pull that off? You don't. So CranKy's pushing. Changelings do have eyes on this. Oh, the Vipers are set up. No lurkers, just Hydra Viper. And here come the Blinding Clouds. Oh my god. Yeah, the Blinding Clouds are brutal. Tank yoinked into the Blinding Cloud as well. The Vipers are getting picked up, but it's still a more efficient trade here for the Zerg. Takes down every single tank. We'll save one Viper. Oh my god. And everything falls. Empty medevacs make it out. Not like this. There's nothing to defend the third. And Snogstar, he has done it. He has broken the main army. Pushing towards the third base with mass Hydra. Again, not the most efficient army, but it works. They shoot up, they shoot down. GG gets called, and Snogstar will take the game and will fight back for his team for Bourgeois. GG. GG. GG, well played. And just like that, we did kind of force the ace match in a way. It did end with a 4-3 scoreline. The previous series did actually go all the way to the ace match. It came down to that final game. This one less so, but all the games were still played out regardless, and it is great to see that it did still go the distance. It was still quite neck and neck between both teams, between Armati and Bourgeois. And GG, well played. GG, well played. We can switch our scenes over and have a look at the scoreline, have a look at the road to victory here for Armati, who I want to say were the underdogs coming into this. I'll be honest, looking at the lineups for the teams, remember, it was the previous team that we casted, where Art was the captain, which had Art and Papi. And I do rate them both very highly. They both played their main races. I do rate them very, very high, compared to Bourgeois, who have Cristiano and Geralt, who are off racing. So I would say their strongest player is Snogstar, to be honest, for Bourgeois. Snogstar is the strongest player. So again, I had high hopes for Papi and Art, but last they could not carry their team. Instead, it was the underdogs coming in. It was Armati. I mean, they were the #1 seed, but who are their ace players? Rodzin and Mishu. Rodzin and Mishu, and again, compared to some of these other bigger names in Poland, I mean, they're not amongst them, right? They're not amongst your Cristiano, your Geralt, your Art, your Papis. They are, you know, considered to be a tier below, but here in this format, they thrive. They did thrive in this format with all these best of ones, with these best of twos as well. They were able to pop off and come out on top. You could argue that maybe we could have seen a different result if Geralt had competed. As a reminder, there was a walkover, right? Geralt did give a walkover over Kossit, and I don't know how that would have played out. If it was Geralt playing his main race, I would have favored him, but he was off racing as Terran. I don't know how to place his Terran. I'll be honest, I don't know how to place it, so it would have been a close one. Maybe Kossit wins anyway, right? Maybe he wins anyway, maybe he doesn't, and then maybe there's a world where Bourgeois win instead. Hard to say. It is hard to say. Regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to the Armati team. They do come out on top, and they will be the Infolet League #2 champions. Congratulations. Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Again, this was just a fun team league during the offseason. They've been playing out the group stage and the playoffs throughout the entire month. There was like a drafting process, and again, they even forced some of the bigger names to off race as well, like Cristiano and Geralt. So just having a lot of fun. Shout out to Aristory for organizing and casting the event in Polish. Shout out to Kashim for adminning, organizing the players and making sure everything gets played out. Shout out to Infolet, Infolet, they are, I believe, a Polish company, and they have been sponsoring monthly tournaments, very fun monthly events, the Infolet Monthly. We've casted them from time to time. And they even supported this fun team league as well. So yeah, much love to Infolet. They do often support StarCraft in Poland. So much love. Otherwise, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all did enjoy yourselves. It was, again, a very unorthodox cast here tonight. Just a little bit of fun here with the Team League. I also did appreciate the theme for the first semifinals with the train stations. It was beautiful. Oh my god, it was amazing. For those who don't know, every map in the semifinals was a station of some kind. You know, Habitation Station, Dasan Station, King Sejon Station, all the stations, man. It was beautiful, beautiful. Vani Research Station, and also Infestation. It's beautiful. It was peak StarCraft. Peak memory, peak memory. Here, lesser. There was less of a theme when it came to the maps. At least less of a theme that I saw. Regardless. GG, well played. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. With that, that is going to be our broadcast done for the evening. We are done for the day. Tomorrow, we're going to be live once again with some more StarCraft. Tomorrow is going to be the final StarCraft Evolution League of the season. If you're curious, it's ending tomorrow. Yes, it is ending tomorrow, the final StarCraft Evolution League, before the full championship. There's a big StarCraft Evolution tournament that's going to be occurring over the next month of play, with a group stage, with a playoff stage, with qualifiers and everything. We will be casting it ourselves as well via replays, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a very intense time, the month of November. A lot of casting, a lot of StarCraft, and tomorrow is the final StarCraft Evolution League to get points to be invited into the main event. So it is going to be the final Evolution League, I think, of the year, I do believe. Also, the day after tomorrow on Sunday, we have Sparkling Tuna Cup into all the other open cups, like Wardy TV Monday, Pigosaur Monday, or Pigosaur Cup, Alima League as well, the Podcast, and everything else. So plenty of content over the next week. We will also be casting Firegrow Cup. Firegrow Cup is going to be the weekend of the 16th, so 2 weeks from now. Or I guess next week. True. Yeah. So next week is we're going to be casting Firegrow Cup. That is a tournament organized by Mindo VK, and also the week of the 20th of November, 20th moving forward, is when the fall championship of SCL does begin. So we're going to be casting that as well. Sorry, that's going to be from the 19th moving forward of November. So plenty of SEL, plenty of casting, plenty of StarCraft. Again, it's going to be a busy month for us here in November. December is going to slow down, intentionally so. For the holidays, we are making sure we leave a couple of days free for, like, you know, Boxing Day and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So we are going to be slowing things down. And we usually do have a break with our tournaments. We usually take January off for at least our organized events. So Sea Duckling Open, Master Swan Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, Tenacious Turtle Tussle, all of that is going to be put on hold during the month of January, so everyone can kind of enjoy some time off and enjoy the holidays, and we can catch up on stuff as well. I'm still undecided. I mean, we have to decide soon. I'm still undecided as to what we do at the end of the year. In years past, we have had Duckling Showdowns, which is like a show match series. Is a lot of work to organize players and can be quite expensive, but yeah, we could try and do something. Could try and do something special for the end of the year. I feel like now is the time for us to plan something like that out. We'll think about it. We'll think about it. But outside of that, thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to who is streaming at the moment, who is live. Let us check and find out. Who's live? There's Coco. Coco's live. Oh, Battle Aces. The beta's live at the moment. True. Battle Aces is a thing. Trigger's playing Battle Aces. Rotterdam's playing Battle Aces. I mean, I guess I could play some Battle Aces. I don't know. I might just wait for it to release. I have no rush to get into Battle Aces, so I'm content just waiting for its release before dipping my toes into some Battle Aces. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. Who else is live? Ryung is live. Oh, Mishu. Mishu is live at the moment. He's off racing as Protoss. Who else? I don't recognize too many other people. Don't recognize too many. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some StarCraft Evolution. You can follow us on all the social medias as well. got you. There we go. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. We do stream on a daily basis here on Twitch and on YouTube. We're live on both platforms, both on Twitch and YouTube. Likewise, you can also support us via Patreon if you wish. Our Patreon does fund all of our tournaments, so you can support us there if you want to help us grow our events and boost the prize pool and just increase our events overall. So if you want to, you can do so via Patreon. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow for SEL. I'll also be streaming on my personal channel, light_VIP. I've been really busy editing VODs and like getting the Alima League VODs ready. So I haven't been able to. I was meant to stream today. I wasn't able to today. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow if I do finish everything up. There's just a lot of like rendering of VODs and uploading of VODs. Like it's slow going. So I do apologize for that, but that's why I haven't been streaming, because my PC has been busy literally just rendering VODs non-stop. Just the PC has just been going ham rendering VODs, so I do apologize, but eventually I'll catch up and then I can stream again, Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.